I guess we'll see, but this is potentially the first ever re-upload that we're going to have as an audio-only podcast. So if anybody clicks on this in the future, hello, audio style.
Hello.
We're, mainly a web show. We have visuals and stuff. So if you want to come to YouTube or Twitch, that's where we are. But also, if you just want to listen to us, we appreciate you lending your ears. But
yeah, we'll dial up the smoothness of our voices.
I'm just not used to like we watch YouTube videos. I'm not used to describing what happens, and like we look at charts and stuff. We have like visual aids, so if you're missing all that, you might be missing some of the show. But I also I'll listen to like the H3 podcasts, and they'll be doing like best soundbite showdown, and I'm not even voting for it. I'm just looking at other people vote it. So there is an audience for other people watching that stuff.
Yeah. Here I also I mean, obviously it's a visual thing, but on my camera screen here I added my little ticker I got for Christmas. It displays the Bitcoin and Ethereum chart.
If you move it over, there you go, the percentage will be in there.
There we go. Framed it nicely. And my neon sign is cooking. Just got it all. Got it all today. It's 2023, baby. What up, Jeff? Eric in the house. I also switched out my shitty keyboard for this monstrosity. Look at this enormous thing. Nice. It's supposedly ergonomically laid out, but God, I fucking hate it. I have this weird gap between the T and the Y and the G and the H and the B and the N key in the center of this keyboard, and I don't know. It's supposed to be more comfortable.
If you want to use this one, I got this Jellycomb wireless keyboard.
Ooh, that one's tiny.
It's pretty much just it's the exact same size as a Mac keyboard. It's just not Mac. But I forgot. It's just under a pile of shit in my room that I just cleaned, so I found it.
This enormous keyboard is just I get the ergonomic thing of it, but I'm not sitting here writing paragraph upon paragraph of stuff, so it just feels very large. I found you have the click keyboard out here a little bit, but that one I felt was a little strange. Sometimes it wouldn't register and sometimes it would double register keystrokes. So I was let me not get that headache started.
Happy 2023. This is our first stream, first podcast, I guess, of the year. First of many, I'm sure.
First of the year, baby. I hope everybody had a good holiday and a good New Year's Eve. Usually it's fucking popping out here in LA. The fireworks are going nuts and my dog gets really upset. But this year it was raining pretty hard on New Year's Eve and pretty much nobody launched fireworks. Marcy loved it.
It wasn't until later. People the next night though, I heard some.
Yeah, the next night we got a few fireworks. I had to convince her to go take a potty after when we went for her late night pee. I took her out, and right when she got out the door to go pee, she heard a firework and immediately tucked her tail and turned around. And I had to be no, you gotta go pee before we come back inside. And it took some convincing, but she did. She's just not a fan of the fireworks. She doesn't like to hear them, even when they're really far away. If I can't hear it sometimes, and I can still I can tell she heard a firework. It's pretty funny.
I think dogs have a lot better hearing than we do. So
yeah,
she hears what we do not. She's hearing dog whistles. We can't hear anything.
I just don't get why she gets so scared of a firework that's clearly miles away.
Marcy's just a little scaredy pants. She also cried for 3 hours when you left yesterday and has been doing that for 7 years straight. So why does Marcy do Marcy things? Who knows?
That's true, Marcy. You are a little
she's freaking out yesterday. It's also she's dragging your clothes all over the place too. It's Marcy,
you
need to calm down.
Back there's all over the fucking. She dragged 4 different shirts out of my bedroom and just left them scattered out through the hallway. And
I think after traveling with you guys now, she's extra worried when you leave, but I don't know. I feel it's just what Marcy is. She's always fucking scared.
Yeah, she's a little codependent little doggo. She's also like absurdly spoiled. I don't think she's been alone for very like often in her entire life. I mean, even if Paul and I are gone, you're usually around, and if you're not, like, there's so few times that she's just straight up alone. And I don't know. She's spoiled. Like, I don't know. We work from home for years already, so she's always around. Right, Mark? She's over here right now, just like chilling. She has like one ear perked up, but she's not looking over because I mean she hears we're talking about her, but it's not enough. Like, she doesn't care enough to do the effort to make an appearance. But yeah.
So, what's new with the wax space? I just sold an MLB thing, which is pretty fucking dope.
Oh yeah, MLB Tops pack sold. I saw that. Let's see.
Let me see if I can pull that up. Wax. Yeah, I sold my last. I feel like I'm gonna regret this one day, and that day is already today. But
about 6 hours.
A second, I don't know if anybody else is like that. I sold my MLB pack for like 5,000 wax, and just immediately was like, "Fuck! I should have held that." Like, I don't know. It's like the instant FOMO of selling something. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but I immediately regretted selling it. But I also don't, because it's like we're 3x the wax of what I paid for it. But
that was your last one.
Yeah, right? Now they're selling for 6,200. I sold mine for 5,800. Like a fucking idiot. Let's see if I can find mine.
62 already.
Here's mine. I'm go Dro drops. I sold it for 5,869. That's $250. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's way more than drop price, even in cash.
I didn't buy it on drop though. I bought it for 1,500 wax on April 20th, 420, anniversary of our collection.
Oh shit!
Bought it on the anniversary.
Treat yourself, yo.
And it was worth $100 more than I paid for it, even though it's 2,000 less wax. I paid $350 for it in wax when wax was
in
worth
cash. It was a lower. Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't expect it to go higher necessarily. That's why I just like I'd rather take the wax now and try to recover that way than hope the pack goes up $200 in value or whatever.
Oh yeah, Autumn's Toys got a premium and 2 standards. He said.
Damn.
And a couple of 1952
packs. I actually might still have a standard pack. They just don't sell for nearly as much as the premium, so I don't get as excited about them.
What's the 1952 packs?
We got Minion Jumbo. I think these were like set bonus style things, but I'm not positive.
Damn, they're also going for close to 1,000. What is that, 880 wax?
Yeah, I wonder, was there news for this collection? I don't know why, like...
They do seem like they spiked up, huh? Like, the interest in it, at least.
I mean, they've been around forever on wax, and, like, they're top 3 on the marketplace right now, and they haven't had a drop, as far as I know, in, like, a year, so... I'm not exactly sure why LB Tops just randomly decided, oh, no, we have...
Oh, the 1952 packs were blends. Interesting.
Do I not have cool. Not safe for work turned on? Oh, I don't. I don't know how that made it past. Some titties just made it past fucking. Atomic Hub's filter.
Oh. Look at that.
Oh well.
They can get us in trouble, yeah.
Hope we don't immediately get banned from Twitch on our first stream on the New Year, but.
Yeah, New Year and boom, get banned. Also,
does anybody know when the next Funko drop is? I feel like that's gotta be coming soon.
That's usually a Tuesday thing, so.
Least Comic Standing said, I don't think that we are moving everything to Flow and allowing porting of wax assets to Flow is news, but that's the latest I heard. So yeah, maybe people are buying them on wax to port over to try to sell on Flow, and maybe people are trying to scoop up the wax NFTs now, but yeah, I don't know. Just their top seems like they're leaving wax, and we don't know how well the bridge and stuff is going to work. So I was like, I guess a little, it wasn't even really a panic sell. It was more just like, I'd rather have the 3 times the wax now than bet on what's going to happen in the future when it seems like we don't know what's going to happen. I also like don't really trust Tops after how they operated on wax, like to create any value for any of their stuff. They just like mint way too much of everything, and then like don't do anything to maintain the value and just ditch to another chain and make new series. Like remake the same series on a different chain too. Like They did the Godzilla cards, and they did like the same Godzilla cards on another chain. I'm pretty sure. I'm just
that's what I was about
how
to
this
mention.
stuff's supposed to work, guys.
Yeah, they're like, oh, here we did a drop on, and then like the same exact artwork on just a different blockchain. That's just like, oof. As a collector of like NFT artwork, that's a big faux pas. That definitely
but
makes me
then again,
excited.
there's also the very first ever NFT baseball cards. So that's why I was like, if anything's valuable in the future, as long as the MLB is still around, I think people will still want to buy these. Whereas I can't guarantee that for literally anything else I'm collecting. Like Funko is a big property. Funko hasn't been around as long as the MLB. Like the MLB's been around a long ass time. Even if Topps goes out of business, pretty sure people are still going to be like interested in MLB, unless like baseball just ends as a sport and nobody cares about it anymore. But like,
yeah, which is I guess possible too. Baseball,
I mean,
just if Major League Baseball rug pulls.
I feel like it's possible, but yeah, like it's one of the biggest properties, and also like longest history of being a valuable collectible. People have been collecting and paying money for baseball cards for like 60, 70 years. So it's like it has a history of being a collectible, whereas like even like Funko's kind of newer, like as far as like it hasn't stood the test of time that baseball cards have. So
yeah,
I did want to like, my plan was to hold it for like 5 years. I guess I held it for like 2 years, which isn't bad. It's a long time for an NFT.
Yeah, for real. That's like 20 years in like regular years, 2 NFT years.
Yeah. Now I already sent it to my cold wallet too. Is like I need to immediately send this wax to my cold wallet so I don't just spend it and like lose my strategy of losing dollars but saving the wax until the wax becomes worth more.
Yeah. Have you staked it too, or are you just gonna hold it?
I haven't done that yet. It's on a ledger that is not on my. I have 2 ledgers, so it's the one that's not plugged in, and that's my real cold wallet because I'm too lazy to plug it in to sign transactions. So it's just living on that wallet right now.
Nice. That's funny. I got let's see. I saw the honey reward ended on Taco, and then subsequently the price of honey collapsed like 90%, which I was kind of stoked about. I bought some more. I got.
What was the APY on the farm
on that pool? It was like it started out like 700 or 800, but by the end it was closer to like 250.
That's still pretty solid.
Yeah, 250.
Also makes sense why people doubled it, or why people dumped it. If you're like,
yeah, oh hell yeah. I mean, people definitely participated in that pool to make that, and I felt like the way I played that worked real well because I had already had some honey before that pool started. After it started, the price pumped as people were trying to source those tokens to participate in the like 700-800% APR. So I sold half of my honey into wax and then paired that with the remaining half to farm. And then I dipped out like 4 days before the end of the pool, and then just kept the wax as like my profit, you know. And by that time, I had gotten back to my original amount of honey. I started with like 400. I sold it. I had 200, and the wax counterpart was like 700 wax at the time. And by the end of the pool, I had 400 honey back in the pool, and something like 400 wax.
Does the pool not exist anymore, or was it?
The pool does exist still, but
the single or is it multiple?
You won't find it on Meal because it's not incentivized anymore. So you just have to go to Swap and type in honey and wax, and you'll see that there is still liquidity available, but it won't show up under the Meal tab anymore because it no longer is incentivized. And
that makes
sense. It doesn't show up there. But you can see here it's pretty dramatically, you know. Let's see.
30 days. Look at that 30-day trajectory. It looks like
99 or 95% down the toilet, it feels like. But like I said, playing that from the beginning till the end, I think I ended up walking away with the same amount of honey I started with and 400 or 500 wax. So pretty good. And now I staked it, and I think I'm up to like 800 with honey now in my staking, because you can stake your honey over at NFT Hive, where you then get like a cut of every drop that gets sold on NFT Hive. So you get a cut of all the wax or all the whatever token is being paid for the drop. So it's like a big basket of assets based on, you know, what kind of drops are happening.
It's crazy. It's lost like 5 times value in a month.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like, I mean, that's what happens when you just print, new tokens and then just cut the printer off. It's definitely kind of expected, but we can jump into that in a second because we still have some liquidity in that pool on our DeFi wallet as well for the WAX investment that we want to check in on.
I feel like we'll probably just do that now if you want. We've been going for like 15 minutes. We can just launch into it.
Yeah, all right. Let's do that. Here, I'm going to jump over and share my screen here. Share screen. So I got, here we are. I'm going to start on, here, actually, let me start over on DeFi Box because
today we were pretty just overall looking at the crypto market. So I guess if anybody has any technical questions about the WAX blockchain or any of the dApps in particular, we can maybe look at it today. So let us know in the comments if you want us to look at something. Otherwise, Max is probably just going to look over. We have a 100 WAX investment that we started. How many months ago was that? Maybe like 6 months ago. Where we started with 100 WAX. And we're trying to just get more WAX, and each week Max goes through and he messes with different DeFi protocols on the WAXP blockchain.
Yeah. And we're doing pretty well. I think today might be the day we have doubled our initial investment, and it's only taken about half a year to do that. Not so bad. That's pretty solid. Plus, we're doing this in strategies that aren't crazy low liquidity, so that you could actually do this with a much more deep WAX position than just 100. But first things first, we have our on DeFi Box, we kind of are keeping our like core 100 WAX kind of off of the table so that we don't lose with our more risky portion of this investment. And on that DeFi Box, we're basically in a liquidity pool that consists of half of WAX and half of USDT, or WAX USDT, which is a wrapped USDT asset. So you can bridge your USDT from Ethereum into WAX, and it becomes WAX USDT. And you can also bridge it back out to get it back onto your Ethereum wallets. So in that position right now, we're back up. We're up another like 11%, it looks like. So our total value of WAX in that pool is now worth 111 WAX. So that's pretty good. We might actually consider doing what we have been doing and scaling down pulling 11 WAX out of this so that we can maintain our position of just 100 WAX, and then continue to use that 11 WAX to further invest into some yield bearing positions. So I'm going to start by doing that. I'm going to go here to the swap tab and then over onto the liquidity tab of that. Scrolling down, we should see a pool, and here you can actually see we started with 31 WAX. And this is after we've already pulled some out, since we initially started with 50. So it was 50 and it was 100 total, basically. But now, after having pulled stuff out, we've contributed 31, but now we have 55 WAX in our WAX side of this. And we started by contributing almost $4, $3.91. And we turn in USDT, and we currently have $2.36. So I'm going to click here, reduce liquidity. And we want about 10 WAX out. So I'm going to see what it takes to get to 10. Here we are at 7. So we have to consider that this is a bilateral position. So what I want on the WAX side would be just 5. So let me adjust this slider till I get to 5. There we go. 5. You can also just use the numeric thing here and type it in, but I'm just being lazy and sliding around. So there we go. I just withdrew that liquidity. So now I have some WAX and some USDT in this wallet. So let's take a look at the USDT and swap that also into WAX. USDT, type it in. There we go. So now I have 21.57 cents of that. And on DeFi Box right now, that would swap into 4.99 WAX. But let's also take a look at some other platforms on WAX to see if that's the best deal we can get for our USDT. So I'm going to jump over to Alcor and connect my same wallet there and take a look at what the Alcor swap, which I happen to know just off the top of my head, has deeper liquidity than DeFi Box for this asset. And deeper liquidity usually translates to a better spot price on a swap. So let's try that. We're going to look for USDT here. And let's see, for the same amount of USDT here, we're getting 4.99937. And on DeFi Box, we would be getting, oh, that's not DeFi Box. This is 4.99394. So that is more. And then let's just for shits also check on Taco Swap. If Taco Swap has a better deal still than this, then we'll do the trade on Taco Swap. But let's take a look. USDT on Taco Swap. Here we're getting 4.9969. So the best deal is still Alcor. Second best would have been Taco, and finally DeFi Box actually had the worst price point for this trade.
I think that number is also, like, go back to that. That number is misleading because I think the minimum received is actually closer to what you'll get. Because I think the number is displayed based on like the Taco discounts that you can get for like.
Oh, I see.
The fee. So like what you actually get isn't. I could be wrong about that, but I think somebody's saying that in our chat. They're like, look at the minimum received number, not at the number that is displayed. Just because like if you don't have the staking level discounts, it's not what the number received is.
Oh, I understand. And I don't on this wallet. I don't have any additional Taco stake to get discounts on this. So,
but I do that on all the exchanges. There's like a minimum received and the estimated. I like even that. Like if you look underneath, there's a minimum.
Yeah, 4.994 is the minimum here, and then let's take a look what the minimum.
It does seem to be more drastically different on Taco Swap than it is on Alcor as far as like the minimum versus what is displayed.
Let's see the more. And the minimum received here is 4.844. Oof, that's way worse. So yeah, that's a good note. But at the same time, we are definitely still getting the best deal on Alcor. So let's do the swap here. So I'm going to swap that, and now we have liquid wax in the wallet, 10 wax now. Perfect. And now if I go back to my DeFi box and take a look at my overview, I should be down back to about 101 wax here. So great. We're leaving this alone. This is kind of like our hedge against, our more aggressive strategies failing, because we started with 100 wax. By keeping this exposure to the wax and the wax USDT pool, because I'm personally kind of feeling bearish still on the entire crypto market. As the crypto market goes down, this pool should be buying us more wax passively, effectively. Okay, so now that we have 10 wax there, let's go over to the second part of our investment, which is over on Taco Swap. And if I click on the liquidity tab, I can see that we have some liquidity in the honey pool, 7.95 honey paired against 5.2 wax. This pool is no longer producing results like we talked about a second ago. So I'm just going to remove it before. I mean, there's no point in me, I think, being in this pool unless I expect honey to like spike back up. But because we're trying to farm yield and there's no yield, let's drop this. So I'm going to sign this transaction to remove the liquidity from there.
At least Comic Standing said something different that I didn't know this happened. He said, if you have any Taco in your holding account, it will use that to pay a reduced fee, causing your minimum received to be greater. But you've paid some Taco to get the full fee, so you're paying money to.
Yeah, that's a little unclear to me when I'm using this. I wish they would be a little bit more upfront about that I'm paying something in the background. But that's good to know. So I'm a fan of the honey token personally. I think it's not a bad value proposition, and at the current price of what is that, one honey to, let's take a look, one honey to 0.657 wax, I don't really want to sell the honey. I don't think this is the greatest deal. I think it's kind of like the price is aggressively corrected down as people were exiting the liquidity pool and dumping their counterpart back into wax. Personally, I think based on my own experience in staking honey, I find that honey should be worth around like 1-ish wax. And also honey has a utility here. Let's actually show it here over on the NFT Hive website. If you go to your honey, if you sign in with your wallet, you go to honey info, you can see you can use honey to rent CPU for a stake. So if you're, for example, trying to mint a bunch of NFTs, or you're trying to play a game, or you're trying to participate in a drop that you maybe want a bigger cut of the CPU weight for your wallet, you can use your honey here to pay in honey, turn this on, and then I could say pay 1 honey to rent for 1 day, and you could change this to like 10 days or whatever, and then here you can see how much CPU that would translate to. So if I just pay 1 honey for 1 day, it would be the same as adding 640 wax to my stake for CPU, which is relatively worthwhile. And you can kind of see that same utility is available if I don't pay in honey. If I just pay in wax, 1 honey is producing as much as 2 wax would. So there you go. If I did 2 wax for 1 day, it would give me the same result in staking weight added to my wallet. So you just say rent now, and you can, for example, if you have a wallet that is stuck and unable to process a transaction, you could type that wallet name in here for the receiver, and you could remotely stake to somebody else's wallet using the honey. That's like one of the big utilities Honey's offers. I really like that as a utility, especially as someone who creates a collection and is a collection owner, that we have days where we want to mint 1,000 assets and then create a pool and like send all those assets to a pool and then create basically do a ton of transactions. And if I don't have thousands of CPU, or if we're doing an airdrop, for example, it requires a lot of CPU to do that. And instead of having to have, like thousands of wax staked, I could literally just come here with 2 honey and get 1,200 wax staked for the day. And if you start going up to like 10 honey, then that's 6,000 wax. So we're really getting like real utility out of this as a creator. This makes sense to me. And that is not the only utility Honey offers. If I also come up here to on whatever wallet you sign into on NFT Hive, on the top right, you click on that, and you can click on account here, and you toggle over to wallet. I think you can actually go straight to wallet too. No, maybe not. Okay. Oh no, there it was. So here's wallet. If you just click on wallet, you can see there's you can see your honey balance here, and you can stake it. And that's what I'm going to do with our honey position. So even though we're no longer in the pool, I'm going to hold on to this honey at least until it's worth back to 1 wax. Right now at 0.6 wax, I think it's actually a pretty decent buy, and I bought some on my own wallet. Not financial advice, of course. But now by staking this honey here, so you can see.
I was going to ask, so would you buy it on this DeFi wallet as part of our 100 wax investment? Is that going to be part of it? Is scooping honey when it's low?
Actually, yeah, let's do that with the counterpart of this. I actually like that as a let's, instead of trying to do a yield passive position for this week, let's take the opportunity that is here, which is honey just took a huge shit because the rewards just ended. Let's use that low price to buy some honey and then set some limit orders to sell it back. And we can actually go over to Alcor right now and take a look at the spot market here. So if I go to markets and then look for honey, there's a honey wax pair, and you can see that the spread is 57.89%, and the lowest bid the lowest bid for selling honey or buying honey right now is 1.3 wax, 1.33 wax. So we could put our bid in at 1.32, basically be the next in line to sell if somebody were to come and buy. But we could buy our position from the swap right now here with, let's say, if we do 10 wax, that's for easy math, that'll give us 15 honey right now. So let's do that. So we'll buy 10 wax worth of honey, and then we'll place that order to sell that back. So now we're going to go back to Alcor, and then here I'm going to just click this to populate all this stuff here, and then I want to say sell, and I'm going to undercut the current lowest bid with, let's say, 25, and then let's say if I sell 50%, I'm almost getting my 10 wax back. So I would like to get all my 10 wax back with this. So let me just say 10 wax. And so now of the 15 honey I bought, I need to put up 7.5472 for sale to get back my 10. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to take a look at the order book to see where the volume is. So you can see here, these red bars indicate the depth of volume of people like making orders. And up here, if we click depth chart, it'll actually visualize it in this kind of way as well. So you can see that, at around 3.2 or whatever, there's 10 wax available. And then all the way at 1.3 5, it's 400 wax, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to the order book. And I think let's go before this big order here where someone's selling 155, but after the order that we've just undercut, we can place our next order for the remainder of our position. So I'm going to click on this one, the 1.45, and I'm going to change this to 1.4, 4. And then I'm going to say 100% of the rest of my honey. And then you can see if this sells as well, I'll be making 10.87. So effectively between both these orders, this would be 100% like return. So I'm going to place that order as well. So we'll come back next week, check in on these two. These are basically just now sitting in this order book. You can see the little carets next to my orders. Those are the ones that your wallet owns. And now we are the top bid. So basically we've bought our honey on a swap, and then we've listed it for sale on the Alcor market. And now basically if somebody comes in here and uses this market trade tool and says buy 10 wax worth of honey, it'll automatically choose our order to fill, and we'll have
I'm the
made
KY is asking the swap has a better price, right? So like, isn't it better for buyers to use the swap instead of the market?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the swap price right now is, so if we're looking at the swap price of honey is 0.65, way cheaper than the current spot, like the current bid price on the Alcor swap. Which is 1.32. This is more than double the swap price. And the liquidity depth for this is also much, much lower. So you can see like only 10 wax is available at this price before the price goes up again. So
do you find
most
that people still will buy that though, even though the price
that's my experience with this. People don't really understand, or I don't know why they do, but people do come in here and buy, or like some people will close out of a liquidity pool and then just come and market sell all their stuff without actually paying attention to what the depth is. And that's why you end up with these spikes that go down like here to 0.24, like, so anyone who had placed a bid to buy more honey, which I had done that on my other accounts too. I have bids in for all these like lower prices, and they just sit there and wait for people to do these kind of like mistakes. But you can see these massive wicks, for example, where the price of honey jumps to like 8.5 or something. The reason that happens is because somebody is market buying, and it just fills all of the orders all the way up to 8 point something, because somebody comes in and just does that. And you can see it's a wick, because that price point doesn't last for the duration of the entire candle. The second the market buys it all up, all those orders get refilled, or people like try to sell, but at that point no one's buying anymore, and that drops back down. So we're gonna set this order and hope for somebody to, fat finger and make a trade that is not in their favor, because a lot of people don't necessarily understand.
I don't even necessarily think it's a fat finger as much as people just don't understand.
People don't understand or don't care, or just like, whatever, I know how to do this on Alcor, and that's where I do everything. And so that's what they'll do, and they're willing to pay the premium for the convenience of not having to learn how to navigate, a decentralized
How much would it be if you just check, like, if you wanted to buy 500 wax worth, would that be a shit ton of slippage in the swap too, though?
It's the less liquidity available in the swap, the more slippage we get. So if we change,
that's what I'm asking. Like, can you compare
so if
that?
we change to this, if we do 500 wax right now, we would get a slippage or a price impact of 16%.
That's not nearly as bad as the market.
Not anywhere close. This is still a better deal than buying. Yeah,
it's 8x price if you do that.
You could buy 1,000 wax and still be getting more than one-to-one like deal on here. But if you're doing 1,000 wax on Alcor right now at the same time, let's see, 1,000.
So I feel like another lesson for this, if you're new to crypto stuff, is check the swap and the market. They're not the same prices. Yeah. And also, like, I think one reason people use the market is because there is no slippage fee. Like, it doesn't tell you you're losing slippage. So like when you type it in, and if you don't know how to read the market, you're like, oh, well, I'm not suffering the slippage, when actually you're suffering much more slippage, because you're about to be paying like, three wax per instead of one, which is like 300% the price, but it doesn't tell you that. So like, unless you understand what you're looking at, like, I think people are just like, oh, there's no fee, because you have to pay the the liquidity fee, and there is no fee for using the market. So people are like, because there's no fee for the market, I'm saving on the fee, when in reality you're paying way more.
So here's a kind of an interesting thing that people maybe don't understand that Alcor actually does for you. If I click on this 2.5 bid right here, right? There's only 100 wax worth of honey for sale at 2.5, but if I click on it, it'll actually populate down here. You're seeing it saying I need 956 wax, and that's because it is giving me the price of the 2.5 bid plus all of the bids below it. So if I actually came in here with my 1,000 wax, that on Taco Swap is getting me 1,050 honey, despite, of course, the price impact being 28% for this swap. If I did the same thing with 1,000 wax over on Alcor Swap through just the market trade, what would happen is I would first buy this 10 wax order, then this 40 wax, then the 10, then the 240. So I'd buy all of these up until, we've spent all the 1,000 wax. And by the time I've spent 946 wax, I've only bought 378 honey. Way, way worse than what you're getting in the swap. In the swap, we're getting over 1,000 for the same amount of wax. So definitely be aware of how these things affect, like the liquidity depth in here affects you, and how that can be beneficial as someone who understands how that works, how you can stack your orders and trade. For example,
and also that there's 3 different dexes with liquidity potentially.
Yeah.
So Alcor isn't your only option. You can check Taco, and you can also check DeFi Box, but there's
here where these
I also get it. There's a lot of work involved in making sure you're finding the lowest price. So I also get why some people I know Alcor, I don't want to check Taco and DeFi Box. So if you are willing to put in the time to check all those things, you can sometimes make money on it, but it is a lot of work. So I do get I also sometimes will just dump tokens without.
Yeah, exactly. There's there's times when it's just whatever, it's a small slippage, whatever. I'll just not care. Or it's I'm only doing 10.
Matters a lot more when you're starting to deal with thousands of tokens, because then those percentages mean a lot. But if you're, just doing $1 worth of wax tokens or something, you can probably get away with not checking.
Yeah, and then here, when you see these caps where these line hit all the way up to here, when this spike happened, I had on my other wallet, on my trading wallet, I had an order up here to sell 250 or something honey at 8.5 wax. And when the price jumped that high, it sold all of that honey. And you can see most of these orders aren't for 250. Most of them are this is 737, 150 is pretty big, 120. But I had an order that was that big, so that when somebody came in and they filled everything below me, and then filled my order 90-ish%, and then the price dropped down again. So by having had this limit order just sitting here waiting to sell, sure, I wasn't able to participate in the passive earning yield, but I was the person who sold at the very, very top of the spike, because that's where, I took a look and I was like, oh, someone else above me had placed an even larger order. So I was like, I'll just place it right below theirs. And you can see the depth of liquidity for these trades isn't that crazy deep. When we go all the way up to, let's say here, it jumps from a wax price of 4.5 wax per honey all the way to 14.5 between these two orders, right? And if I click on this 4.5 order, you can see that it only takes less than 3,000 wax to fill the order book all the way up to that. So if somebody comes in here and does a 5,000 wax order, 2,000 of that 5,000 will be used to buy honey at 14.5 wax per unit. And if this is your order, you're making 72 wax for 5 honey. So sure, having 5 honey sit here, you're probably not going to be selling this for a long time. But man, if that fucking that move comes in, that's very exciting, I guess, when you open your wallet and you're like, oh shit, where'd all this wax come from? Oh, look at the spike. And that's basically why, keeping an eye on this, where it's okay, I might place an order here at 14.4, so it's but that gives me that basically means that the second we buy all the way up to 4.58 wax, there is no liquidity available between 4.58 and 14.5. So when you see these types of jumps, and then look at this, after 14 it goes to 17 and then to 122. So
it's also not a lot of wax. It's like 200 wax to get through all of that.
Very little, yeah. So once we get from so it's like even if it does go to like 14, it's only another 74 wax will kill it. So like I said, if someone did a 5,000 wax spot buy on the market, 3,000 took us to here, 72 took us past here, one more to here. So by 3,000, you've literally filled the entire order book.
This is also like something that you can only really do with like newer tokens and immature markets, because like if you try to do this with Bitcoin's not going to get 100x price change like from one person buying it. So this is something that's sort of like more not unique to Wax, but more unique to like newer tokens, and Honey isn't a super established market. So in these more like these newer markets, there is like an opportunity to potentially like cash in on some of the stuff, whereas like on Bitcoin, all this stuff would be bots would already have this all figured out. Like there's no room for humans to profit in a market that's so heavily botted and stuff. Also, thank you for the raid to Left House Action News, I think they're calling it these days. But thank you for the raid. We're going over a technical talk. We do we did a 100 Wax investment about 6 months ago, and each week Max does some new moves on Wax DeFi and trying to get 100 Wax and turn it into more than 100 Wax. And he said today we might be up to 200 Wax, so we maybe doubled it.
I think so, because we were at, let's see, we took let's call this about 10 Wax, because that's what we just spent on the Honey, right?
And also to catch people up, we're looking at Honey because Honey, just the taco liquidity pool rewards ended today, so the price of Honey just went out drastically, and because there's utility and some other stuff that's useful for Honey, Max thinks it could recover, so we're taking a little bit of a gamble.
I personally
see the not financial advice banner. This is not financial advice, but this is us trying stuff out, and then you can see if it's successful in real time.
Yeah, so right now, like when I was doing kind of like a fundamental analysis on my personal position in Honey and it being staked here, I'm going back over to the NFT Hive site now. So here you can see I have a stake of Honey. If I were to, let's see if I can just backpedal into my own wallet here. Yield farming, and it would be overview. Let's see. It would be this one. Let's see if this will load.
Mr. Mara says they blew up a racing stadium on stream, and I'm trying to follow up and be like, how do you blow up a racing? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? But it's intriguing.
Let's see. Oh, I can't pull it up without actually logging into my wallet. And this is a yield farming is a cold wallet that I do this kind of stuff from. But if I was able to pull this up, you could see, because I haven't claimed these rewards in a minute, in the staked Honey below here, there becomes a claimable rewards, and it's just a list of a bunch of tokens. So there's like I think like Aether, Wax, Aqua, like LFG token, basically any token. Go on.
The way it works is any drop, you can do a drop with any of the approved tokens on NFT Hive. You just have to hit up Ben if you have your own token. Like I hit him up and asked if we could do a Dim, because Dim wasn't on there for Cosmos 11, and he within 24 hours added it. But as long as it's added to NFT Hive, you can do a drop for any token, and a percentage of all of the drops through every token on NFT Hive goes to stakers of Honey. So when people are doing like THC, AMG, all these different token drops, you can see you get a percentage of those tokens based on your percentage of the pool. So they take, I think, 2% or something of the drop, and that 2% gets paid out like a liquidity pool to your percentage of your staked Honey. So if you have 20% of all the staked Honey on the entire website, you'll get 20% of the 2% fee.
Yeah, exactly. So not only that, it also, like we showed earlier, has the ability to be used to spend on renting CPU for your own wallet or for a friend's wallet or whatever. So I like these utilities. And like I said, from my own experience with staking my Honey from my own wallet, the return I was getting from the Honey would have covered the cost of Honey at a value of 1.4 Wax per unit within a year. So I was like, the fair value for me to buy Honey was around 1.3-ish Wax. So I had some orders waiting at 1.3 that all filled clearly when the price collapsed recently. And then obviously I also, like I was saying, I like to, set liquidity here. So like this order here where I'm buying 1 billion, which is 100% of the of the total supply of honey. This is my order. Like for 100 wax, if the price drops this low, I'll buy it all. And what that means is if people come by here and somebody does dump, it would take a shit ton of honey, and chances are it never gets this low. But on the off chance that it does, I'm the one buying all of it. And great, the second I do that, I will just stake it again and earn back the money. Or actually, if it actually fills at this lower rate, I would probably sell an amount of it to get my 100 wax back and then stake the remainder. But
I guess also background, if you're unaware, honey is a token made by NFT Hive. NFT Hive is a Wax marketplace, but NFT Hive is also a Wax blockchain producer. They help maintain the Wax blockchain. So as far as like longevity of a project goes, like people that are invested in maintaining the blockchain are probably not going to just like leave. So like the only way I could see honey going to zero is if like its value comes from staking and then drops. So if like NFT Hive goes down and you can't do drops anymore, that would be where all your staking income comes from. But as long as like, they're still maintaining the blockchain and running their own website and people are using it, like people should still be trickling in the drops.
There's also, you don't have to buy your honey tokens. You can just earn them, and the way to earn them is by using NFT Hive's market platform. So if I go to the market here,
it's similar to the Nefty kickback, which I think most people are probably familiar with, which Nefty will give you Wax for buying and selling on or not Wax, they'll give you Nefty for buying and selling on their platform. Atomic Hub has the same, not Atomic Hub, I'm fucking up all the names today. NFT Hive has the same kickback program, but instead of Nefty, they pay you honey, their native token. So it's like a kickback incentive to use their marketplace. And I'll also say they have some stuff on their marketplace that's better than the other marketplaces. Their profile picture tool, like the fact that you can see all the traits for profile picture collections on Wax, and some of their sorting actually works better. Like I've been on Atomic Hub and Nefty and have not been able to sort in collections, and their filters just work a little better.
Yeah, here I'm on like the drop monsters, for example, and if I look at like one, I think, let's see, if I check out this guy, I could then be like, oh, you know what, I like the trait, and it breaks down the traits here with like the floor per trait on a profile picture project. Like this is just really nice as far as like people trying to navigate a marketplace. So I can
that's
see
something that's built into OpenSea, and like anybody on Ethereum is expecting to see that when they look at a profile picture project. So especially if you want to be onboarding like money from other blockchains that are spending more on profile pictures, it's sort of like necessary to have that information on a marketplace, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And then like this character, for example, has like these 5 eyes, right? If that's a trait that I really like, but I don't like this character, I could then be like, okay, let me look at the eyes. That's like this multi-eye trait, and then I could click here floor, and it'll sort for me all of the listings, or it should sort for me. Maybe it's not working the way I anticipated, but either way, it definitely has some really nice. I should have done a little bit more prep for how to navigate this thing, but yeah, just seeing like just this alone, I think seeing these traits, how many are there, and the floor price per trait, I like that already. That definitely is beyond what I can see on Atomic Hub or Nefty Blocks or Chain Champs at the moment, which I think it's great. And they've built a lot of tools for creators as well. Like you can drop you can do drops here in whatever token currency that your collection may be. If you have like your own token, like we have a Neon token, we could do drops directly in Neon token through this rather than doing it as a blend on Nefty Blocks. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, I like what they've got going on. And like Lewis said, they are block producers. They've been around probably longer than any of the other, or like at least as long as like Nefty Blocks and longer than like Chain Champs and stuff. So they've been around the block and they've been building kind of like in the background for a long time.
They also lately have been putting out a lot of free tools that are just like things that you used to have to pay money for. They're really like, I'd say like Nefty was the biggest competition to Atomic Hub, but now like NFT Hive, Nefty Blocks, NFT Hive is now kind of like rivaling them, and also they're putting pressure on Nefty Blocks, because Nefty Blocks is having to come out with better creator tools, because they're basically putting out what Nefty Blocks does for free, and then Nefty puts their creator tools behind a paywall. So in order for you to keep paying for Nefty to stake it to make like pre-minted packs and stuff, if I can just make pre-minted packs for free on NFT Hive, then Nefty has to step their game up. So like it's been a nice competition between the three marketplaces to make tools that like it's just better for the user and better for creators. So it's been nice seeing the competition. They also
like,
just announced if you do a drop through NFT Hive as a creator, you get free banner ads. They'll put free banner ads on their front page if you're doing a drop through them, since they get a percentage of the drop to their honey stakers and stuff. Like, so they're incentivizing you to do drops with free advertising right now, which is like, that's pretty fucking big deal. Like anybody with any collection, like Viz Numeris, right, says that NFT Hive, Sensei Bullrog, and the Faded Monzuta collection as a THC drop. He could have that for free advertising on the front page if you just reach out to Ben.
Yeah. See, like, I think there's a lot of like utility that they're offering to people to use their marketplace. And also I've been using the bulk tools forever. Like if you come here to bulk tools, I can come here and say like bulk stake or unstake
bulk
assets.
Unstake was huge from our planet.
Amazing. Like I can
also,
unstake like bulk hundreds of things at once from our planet without signing 100 transactions. This is awesome.
If you go to the overview too, I like the bulk distribute. It's not in the normal, but it's like in transfer tools, distribute assets. Because the difference between bulk transfer is you send them all to one account. If you go to distribute, click on that one. It's underneath transfer assets. That's not it. You just transfer duplicates.
Oh, do I?
It's underneath transfer assets. This first row.
Distribute assets. Here it is.
You probably don't have anything as a wallet though, so it's not gonna work anyway.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this is you can send each asset to a different wallet. So you can like load 50 of them and then load 50 separate wallets. So like when I send the marble trophies, I can sort by mint lowest in this, and it starts on mint 1 and then it goes down, and then I can go through my list of winners and then paste it in order of the winners, and I can send to the top 50 places all in one transaction. And I've been using that forever for our marble stuff. So
yeah,
it's definitely nice for like distributing anything, because you can see the mint numbers and then you can also send them to multiple wallets. Whereas like, I don't think there's literally just not another thing where I can send 2 NFTs to 2 different people. I can't do that on Atomic Hub. I can't do that on like the
not in one transaction.
Like, it's like nowhere else can you do that. It's a pretty simple thing, but like, yeah, they've just figured out some pretty great
and
stuff.
I've been using these bulk tools for like years already, like definitely over a full year. Has this been available to anyone for free? And like they've only added more utility as I've been seeing. So that's a big part of the reason why I'm interested in taking this gamble on honey tokens and participating in like the staking of
in general. I'd say we're pretty like the tokens we like the most on Wax are like Nefty,
Nefty, I'd say
Nefty,
like
honey, and even like Taco. Like anybody doing DeFi and like building tools and stuff is like, I'm sort of more interested in that than I am game tokens, because the game tokens pretty much all the same trajectory. It's just a fucking death spiral downwards,
like a race to the bottom.
And like, if you don't want to play the game, there's usually nothing you do with them. Whereas like these marketplaces continue to innovate and come out with things that give their tokens value, where the games seem to do the opposite, where it's like everything they do detracts from the value of the token. So I'm definitely a fan of like supporting these marketplaces, and I don't mind. Like Nefty is one of my bigger positions on
Wojak token. Like, I appreciate Wojak and what WAXP builds, so I participate in that liquidity quite a bit. But yeah,
do we want to go over like the just market overview? Do you think we got enough on honey, or did you finish the 100 wax move? I don't know.
Oh, not yet. I'll finish the rest of the 100 wax. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to say about honey is, if you don't want to buy your honey off the market, even though, like I was saying, I think the price right now is pretty good. It has never been this low, and the liquidity is actually relatively available that you can, throw 100 wax at it and get like 150 honey for it right now. Not bad. But if you don't want to spend wax to buy honey, and you're more of an NFT collector as is anyway, you can just do your existing NFT trading on this marketplace here. Like, go to the market, buy whatever like Funko packs you were going to buy anyway. And every time you spend 100 wax on this marketplace, when you come back up here to your wallet, this claimable honey will have 1 honey per every 100 wax that you've spent, and you'll be able to claim it. There are back-end protections against this. So like, for example, if I create my own listings and then sell them to my own wallet back and forth, that's not going to be making this farmable I tried, because why wouldn't you try? If they're going to make it easy to farm, then you should definitely exploit these systems. Otherwise, someone else is gonna. So they're not super easy to exploit. It's not very clear to me how they are vetting that type of exploitive behavior, but they are. So that's another way you can make your honey. If you're like honestly buying and trading your NFTs anyway, you can earn it passively by just doing what you already do, just moving that activity over to the NFT Hive marketplace. So let's finish off with the investment here. So the other thing we actually haven't done yet, other than closing out our taco pool, is we have to claim our rewards. So we still have, looks like, one honey that we got from liquidity farming it back when the pool was still paying yield. And we also have our Wombat tokens. So I'm going to start by claiming both of these. And the Wombat tokens are coming from the Wombat WAXP liquidity pool. I am still a big fan of Wombat tokens, honestly. Like, I think they, of all the projects on WAXP, like I thought the price of like the lands was a little outside of my budget, because I just don't understand where my ROI comes from there. So I didn't participate in that. But Wombat does provide a ton of utility for a bunch of creators out there. They have a big platform that isn't WAXP exclusive. They operate, you know, Wombat token can be traded on an Ethereum, on Polygon, on WAXP, and is like a multi-chain asset, which I think that's a great, in general, that's a great thing. Like, you know, when we're looking at honey, for example, you know, that market on Alcor is one of the only spot markets that exists for honey token. But we could take our Wombat tokens and, you know, trade them over on like QuickSwap on the Polygon network. And the liquidity depth there is deep, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so if I go back to my liquidity, we can see that now we have still 36 WAXP paired against 164 Wombat. And we just claimed some rewards. So let's see if do I have enough with 5 WAXP to add these rewards? Probably not. It's 8. So I'm going to sell an amount to get, I want to compound into this pool for the next week, because this pool, if we go to meal, is still paying a yield that I do want to participate in. This yield, so you can see here, I went to the meal tab on Taco, and you can see here are all the pools that are currently incentivized. It tells you what the APR yield is for participating in the pool currently, and then here it tells you what the rewards you're getting are denominated in. So I like high yield, of course everybody does, but I don't like to be paid in a token whose trajectory is just straight down the toilet. Like, I don't care if I'm making 600% APR annually in a token that's losing like 10,000% in a year. That's not a winning proposition. So I personally will only participate in pools that I know the tokens and understand the value proposition of the tokens for. And I would say Wombat is a very established one of those assets, and is still paying, I think, close to 200% APR, 190% currently, and for another 42 days at least. This may be extended again. It has already been extended for once. So I'm going to take what we've earned from being in this pool and compound it into the pool. Like we just saw when I went to the liquidity tab, when I wanted to add my Wombat token, I needed a counterpart for this position of 8.15 WAXP. I only have 5.3. That means I need around 3 more WAXP. So what I'm going to do to make sure I have the 3 more WAXP difference is trade some of my Wombat into WAXP. I need 3 more, but 3 more while removing some of my Wombat tokens means I actually only need like 1.5 WAXP more. So if I
also, thanks for the cheer, So Sneakery. Shout out to So Sneakery. They are a fellow WAXP and NFT gamer streamer. So if you don't already follow them, maybe throw them a follow. We appreciate the cheer.
Yeah. So here here I've just sold 32 Wombat to get 1.5 WAXP. Now that I've done that, if I add liquidity again, this should, there you go. See, now I'm looking for 6.6 as the counterpart. I have 6.8 and I can add the liquidity. Now we're set. I can leave this for the next week. And next week, when we come back to this investment, we can check in on the honey and we can come back to our account rewards. where we'll have another round of liquidity yield paid in Wombat token. And because the Wombat token is relatively like something that I feel will not lose 10,000% or whatever, it's something that outpaces its current yield, I'm okay with this position. So let's take a look really quick here. We have 42 wax against a counterpart that is equally valuable. So you this total position,
nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
This total position is worth 84 wax, right? So 84 wax plus we have our 10 wax that we use to buy honey. So we'll say 94 wax. And then we have one more honey, I think, that we just claimed from yield. So 94 plus we have 101 wax left here. So we're at about 195 wax value in this wallet now, and we started with just 100. So we're doing pretty well as far as navigating this DeFi scene on Wax and actually generating a yield in Wax by simply participating in the fungible token markets. We're not buying NFTs and flipping them. We're just participating in DeFi strategies across the Wax blockchain. So that kind of concludes this, but as one last step here, you saw I did just claim one more honey token. So I'm going to refresh here and we should see, there it is, one honey. This was the yield that we claimed when we claimed the Wombat token. So I'm going to also stake this. And I'm staking this rather than selling it because I just don't feel like selling honey at a current wax value of 0.6 or whatever wax. Like I said, personally, I feel like the value of honey should be around 1-to-1, and its value as far as the utility it provides for the buying of CPU rental is actually 2-to-1. So when I use here, we'll show one last time here, one wax to rent a stake of wax for 1 day, I'll get 320 wax staked to my wallet for 1 day for 24 hours if I do this, and it'll cost me 1 wax. If instead I use honey for this, I'll get twice that. So I don't know why it's not letting me toggle. It did earlier. So what we saw earlier, that this would produce 640 wax staked instead of 100 wax or 320 wax.
Probably because you have 0 honey in your...
Oh, yeah, that'll be it. Because I don't actually have any honey left because I've staked it all now. But yeah, so that is a nice little kind of like benchmark for the value of the honey. And that kind of wraps up our investment strategy here for the wax. And let's just take a quick look now at the overall.
B Wicked has a comment. B Wicked says NFT Hive doesn't seem very Wombat wallet friendly. All my transactions are saying they can't be signed. No pop-up block is on. That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're in. I'll post their Discord, but Ben is actually really, really good at like community support. Every time I've ever needed something from Ben, he's gotten back to me within like 24 hours, and he's fixed every problem I've had. So let me send you a link to his Discord in case you aren't in there. But I think if you open a ticket, like they're more than happy to help out. Is there like a Wombat option, or do you? I've heard if you sign in through Anchor, you can usually use Wombat through Anchor. I don't know how true that is, but
let's see. There is a Wombat option and a Ledger directly option too. Interesting.
I guess maybe an alternative option would be if you can sign into the Anchor option with your Wombat, and for some reason that works better than the Wombat, but I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely worth mentioning to them. Like Lewis said, they are very attentive and they do seem to like be actively developing their platform, constantly improving it, and that's a big part of why we're.
Jaspaz has a comment here. He's like, I wasn't here to plug this, but you mentioned earlier circular sales for honey. Our new graphs on Wax charts show you when this is happening within collections, so you can even vet projects for pump and dump selling. Now, is that just waxcharts.com or is that part of Chain Champs?
I think that's part of Chain Champs analytics, right? Chain Champs has some kick-ass analytics.
So yeah, I remember when you were showing like in the Atomic Kings chat, Jaspaz would come in and he would show like, oh, here are the charts of like all the money from Farmers World where it's moving into. He's like, all these projects are moving into this project. And I thought that was pretty cool. He said it's either waxcharts.com or it's also on Chain Champs. So just try waxcharts.com.
Here's the Chain Champs. Yeah, let's see. It's loading that. Let's check that. I haven't actually checked Oh yeah, it's the same. It looks like the same interface as what we're pulling up here. But yeah, let's see. So you could search a collection here, like
Farmer's World. Is anybody even playing that anymore?
yeah, I guess maybe let's check Alien World.
Alien World still has players. Or you could check the MLB just popped up, see where people are like that are selling their MLB or moving their money into. That'd be an interesting thing since MLB just popped up for the first time in a while.
That one called MLB.tops. Let me check. I know it's on top of the marketplace at the moment, so
It is
MLB.tops. It sure is. So MLB.tops. Look at this.
How's the animated profile picture thing going, Jaspaz? Is that live yet? I think I talked to you a few weeks ago about that, but we're buckling down here pretty shortly. We're going to try to make our own animated neon profile picture, which should be awesome.
So this is then this green one must be. Oh, so you can see the like links of where it's sending what to, huh?
What happens when you click on the other ones though? Does it tell you what it is?
Let's see. This one is double click a collection.
You said double click the node to view the graph for that collection, and the animated profile pictures are releasing this week. Let's fucking go! I know. I never know how much like when people DM me, I should say, but all I'll say is Mike from Shifty Bears is doing some cool stuff with the animated profile pictures, and there might even be some neon and neon traits and some Shifty Bear stuff. So keep a lookout for that in the future.
Cool. Oh yeah, so you can totally like.
What happened when you double clicked? Did it show you the?
Yeah, it brought me into just the MLB
Holy
tops.
crap!
I gotta zoom in here, and my mouse scroll wheel is shit. But you can see, this guy's a big collector within this collection, and then you can see what he's.
The number you want on the stats is percentage of accounts in triangle.
Let's see.
It says number of accounts.
Let's see.
Percentage of accounts in triangle.
With a majority activity.
Is there one that says triangle though?
Activity,
there we go.
transactions. 12. Percentage of accounts in a triangle. There it is.
That means there are people that are selling to themselves.
Let's see. Triangle requests, closed loop system.
Yeah, that's 10% of the volume. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Damn. So yeah, that's a little interesting. I mean, this is a really cool analytics chart. Like I was saying, I think Chain Champs has some of the like best analytics. Oh damn, look at this.
I just like the colors too. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I like that you can drag them around too and like just make some fun stuff happen. So these accounts are all exclusively fed by these bigger wallets, huh? Damn. That is very interesting. I'm curious. I think the speculation in MLB tops has to do with the migration like to Flow's blockchain and them saying that they'll let you migrate Wax assets. Although that may not be brand new news. I think that
isn't new news. That's been news for like I announced that a year ago at some point.
Let's see what these little ones are. So if then you can go deeper and deeper, so I can just double click this big
Except
one.
I thought they were going to Avalanche. I thought they weren't going to Flow. So if they're going to Flow, maybe that's news. But yeah, Tops launched a marketplace on Avalanche, and they were making a bridge between Wax and Avalanche. But I guess the Flow news is maybe news.
Okay. Oh yeah, look at this. So we can keep going deeper and deeper, and then when we scroll in here, you can see the name of all these accounts.
I see Cosmos 11, Deep Mine, Dungeon items. People like
Dungeon items. That makes sense why it's so big.
Is that our collection or what is that?
This was a wallet who's doing the tops trading specifically. So it looks like they are. Let's see what this one is. But yeah, this is cool. I want to mess with this a little more so I understand it better, so I can help explain.
Yeah, maybe let's move on to chart reading, and then we can maybe prepare something with this for next week. That's more.
This is really cool though. It's like a much more in depth than Wax Detective tool.
Yeah, check out waxcharts.com or chainchamps.com.
Yeah, on Chain Champs you can come up here to more, and then network graphs is where I found this. Chain Champs also has an auto buy tool that is very quick, like definitely fastest on the market.
favorite marketplace of Funko buyers that want to
Yeah.
get the deals the fastest. The live marketplace is the fastest, and then the auto buy, I believe, is faster than like whatever Nifty cooked up.
Yeah, the auto buy is definitely, you can see like I was watching like to see who's buying the drops that are like sold under market, and it's almost always the Chain Champs auto buy tool is scooping that stuff first.
Chain Champs also has their own token.
Yeah,
Chimp
the
token,
Chimp
CHMP,
token,
but
and you
you
get
get that
by
owning a
one
Chain
of
Champ.
these. So if you come to the Chain Champs homepage, you can scoop yourself one of these chimp avatars. They're $35 packed to
How many have sold?
Looks like closing in on half. Let's see.
There's like 500 left.
Oof. Oh wait, no, it's not bringing up the thing I wanted to see.
It says right there. It says 411 out of 981.
Yeah, so while those are still in stock, you can scoop one of these. It's a generative like profile picture artwork as well, and holding it in your wallet gets you dropped chimp change or chimp token, and then the chimp token is what you use. It's one chimp token to create a auto buy rule, and then you create a rule, and the rule just sits there watching the market. I think it's a 3-day time limit, so if your order doesn't fill in 3 days, you need to create a new rule. But you can participate, basically passive, like earn passively the income or in the chimp token to do that. So you can hold your profile picture, and then when there's a drop that you're actually interested in, you'll have the chimp change ready to go to make your rules and participate. And on drop day, like I was saying, that tool definitely will scoop fat finger listings and stuff like that pretty consistently. But yeah, let's take a look quickly at the overview of the crypto market. Now that we're in 2023, last year was kind of a wild year in crypto. We had a lot of up and then a lot of down. So here's the Ethereum market we've been watching. It kind of peaked out in November and has been trending down in a bear market since then. And here we're seeing, like, currently we've been trading for the month of December. God, I need a new mouse. Scroll wheel sucks. We've still been kind of stuck within this range here between.
Also live look at Max's screen. He's got a ticker here.
Yeah, baby, my little ticker. It's switching between Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. We're looking right now at the daily chart here. So each one of these candles represents one 24-hour period of trading.
Mahalo had a question on the previous topic real quick. Mahalo asks, Max, how many chimps should one own in your opinion?
Oh, I mean, I personally, I like to support the Chain Champs marketplace. I bought 10, I think, but
I've got 2 of them. I'm happy with my 2. It also depends. I think it really depends on how often you're going to be doing the auto buy orders. Is really one is how much do you like the artwork? If you like the artwork, buy as many as you want as far as just collecting. And then 2 is how many buy orders a week are you going to be doing? And a lot of people just buy what they need. If they're like, oh, each week I'm probably going to buy 2 or 3 Funko things, then they might want 2 or 3 chimps. But it really just depends on how much you like the artwork and also how much you like the utility.
Let's see. Who did I have? Let me check. Pretty sure it's something like
I like the profile picture too. It's made by Mike from Shifty Bears. There's also the very first profile picture project using the PFP generator on Chain Champs. Chain Champs has a profile picture generator that creators can use to create their own generative profile picture project. So it's pretty cool that it's like, I don't know, made by the artist who did the first. So Chain Chimps was not the first one, but Mike did the Shifty Bears was the first one. And then the artist from Shifty Bears, Mike, also did the artwork for the Chain Chimps.
Yeah, let's see. Here they are. Okay, I think I do have 10.
It's one of the many Mikes doing stuff on Wax.
Here's my chimps.
Waxed out Mike.
And then if we look at the schemas, chimps, you can take a look at, if you want to get an idea of like how many is a lot, you can see accounts holding them. Got 100 in the drop.chimp. This is the drop still. Chain Champs has 100 as well, and then 10 seems to be the kind of like whale holders. So it's like me and 3 other wallets all have 10, and then there's 9, 8, 755. So with my 10, I'm making, I think I get like 20 chimp tokens every time they distribute. So 20 tokens is a lot. Like it gives me like basically unlimited bandwidth to make orders whenever I want to. But a big part of buying them was also to like support the drop when this was one of the first like generative profile picture projects that was being dropped when Chain Champs introduced the tool. So
I think it was the second one.
Yeah, it was after the Shifty Bears. So I was like happy to like scoop in on that to try to like, not just support it, but also be part. I think I own most of the liquidity pool, so you can buy them on Alcor. But just a quick side note, if you are buying them, the chimp token, it's CHMP, it doesn't have any precision as far as like there is no decimal place for it. And so when you buy, let's say 1 for 1.2 wax or whatever, and if this fails, the way it'll say maybe like some kind of error about like whatever it says, you can adjust here with the setting wheel the slippage tolerance. So if you set this to like 25% or something, you can try again, and then it will almost certainly not fail. But if you are finding that buying them through the swap is failing your transaction, click the little scroll wheel here or the little settings wheel here and adjust your slippage tolerance. That should help. But now let me quit getting sidetracked and poke around at the crypto market. So I like to look at the Ethereum chart to help gauge the general health of like the what is it called, of the like altcoin market and the crypto market in general. So I think Bitcoin is kind of Bitcoin is the king of the jungle as far as like it leads the charge. If Bitcoin is climbing, everything is climbing. If Bitcoin is falling, everything is falling. And the same kind of goes for Ethereum. Both of these are very well established markets. They both exist, across the globe. Several different like countries have exchanges that offer trading for these assets. It's not a small market anymore. It's like billions, if not trillions of dollars these days. And so looking at the Ethereum market, we've been keeping an eye on this for months and months and months now. And we have, I like to like mark out the support and resistance levels. And you can see that since like November 2022 and all the way through the month of December, we've definitely been ranging within our two targets here, where the bottom of that target is around $1,100 per unit, 1,900 maybe. I'm sorry, 1,090 maybe. And the top of that channel, or the top of this trading range, is around 1,350 for per unit of Ethereum. So currently we're still just ranging, moving kind of sideways, tracking along. You can see on the daily, we're basically touching, if not slightly over, the middle Bollinger Band line here, which is the smooth moving average. These usually act as a solid point for support or resistance. Because we're below it, I would expect this to be the resistance level right now and possibly reject the price movement above it and push it further down, like we usually see when we zoom out, if my mouse will let me, like we usually see here on a downtrend. As long as we're below this Bollinger Band line, sure, we come up a little bit, but we get pushed back down once we get to that line. Push down, keep bouncing and keep being pushed down until finally breaking above it here. And once you break above it, it becomes the support. So we come all the way down to the line and then bounce up again to the line, bouncing up to the line, trying to bounce and then falling, failing. Now that we failed, it's resistance down. Here it should be resistance. You can even see on this day we had a pretty volatile candle, but we did push up above it for a few more days before losing support again. We're still below it now. Another like little pump above it. So obviously it's not like a guarantee that this is acting. It's just a solid like metric for like if we're below the B bands line here, the middle line, you tend to have downward price action. And since on the daily chart right now we're right around that middle line, I like to use the stochastic RSI, the SRSI. It's kind of in the middle here, so we do have a little bit of room before you would consider the asset overbought. Which would happen here at the upper limits. It becomes considered overbought, and at the lower limits oversold. And then the other thing I like to track is the unbalanced volume, which is our blue metric down here. This one shows effectively like the volume, the value of the volume moving into or out of the asset. So what we've been noticing, for example, on the way down, is a lower and lower on balance volume. This is in line with what we expect to see with a bear market. You can see, for example, when we do get spikes like this, that where it comes back up, you could see the price here at like 3,500, for example, is around the same as the price here at like 3,600, right? But then if we take a look at the on balance volume difference between those two price points, it's kind of it's basically here-ish. It's basically still kind of higher. So you can see around here is that price. It's close to the same, but it's not making a higher high. So what I want to see is the on balance volume starting to trend up, while the price is either flat or trending down still, to help me get an early indication that the bear trend is ending. I'm really not seeing that here.
This also, for anybody wondering, is tradingview.com. Anybody can mark up these charts, then use the same indicators that Max is using. And this is also like this. It works on Alcor as well. So if you want to try the chart out WAXP stuff, like the default window in Alcor is like the TradingView window.
Yeah, when we're on Alcor, for example, here's WAXP, right? You have this is brought to you by TradingView. So this is a TradingView indicator. So if you actually come up here and click on indicators, you can just do like BB and add those Bollinger Bands here as well.
So if you learn what WAXP or what Max is doing on a Ethereum and Bitcoin and stuff, you can use that same knowledge and try to apply it to WAXP tokens as well. Is just what I wanted to point out.
So here we're seeing, like on the 4 hour, it's a little more noisy, but then you get to like the 1 day, which is what we're looking at on the Ethereum chart too. And here you're getting kind of that same thing on like the the Brawl WAXP chart. You can see we stay below that moving average, and even when we have a huge spike like this, you can see that spike is only spiking to the middle Bollinger Band line before being rejected and continuing its sell-off. So it's definitely a nice metric to keep in mind, to be able to like, and then we can add the same indicators like all around. We can do SRSI, stochastic RSI. We can see if we are overbought, oversold, or whatever. So right now, for example, on Brawl WAXP, we're definitely in the overbought side of it, but we're also closing above the middle line. So another one that I like to bring in is obviously the OBV, on balance volume.
Also, really quickly want to say, this is potentially the first ever podcast we're going to be uploading to Spotify and audio only platform. So if you're listening to this and being like, what the fuck are these people talking about? There is a video on demand on YouTube. This will probably live forever on YouTube, hopefully. So if you want to like see what we're talking about, there is visual representation on a screen on Neon Space NFT YouTube. We also stream on Twitch, but the video on demand will not live that long. So if, say, 3 years from now you're interested in what we're talking about, check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, and then here we're actually seeing just as a quick aside, this is what I want to see on the we can see that on balance volume here is starting to climb from where it was. So like right now the price action is around here, this green line, right, which we can see that's about the same price as it was here, right, or even a little further back here, right? But now if we look at the on balance volume at that same price point where that price was the same, the on balance volume was lower here. So we are seeing this on balance volume starting to climb. And that is an indication that we maybe are closing in on a bottom for this asset. Same if we look at like the Wombat token, I saw this was a very bullish indication for Wombat. So if you stick Wombat with these same indicators on here, Wombat is just starting to trade relatively recently, but like you can see the on balance volume is just shooting upwards. And what that indicates is money is flowing into this Wombat asset on this platform. And again, when we're looking at Alcor, these metrics are tracking only what's happening on Alcor, this order book specifically.
Yeah, you also need to be hyper aware of something like Wombat token is also trading on Matic.
Exactly.
And I believe it might also be trading on Ether, or is it only Matic?
It's Ethereum and Matic. So
yeah, there's two other marketplaces. Just because it looks bullish on WAXP, that could be because everybody's dumping on the other chains, and then people are just buying to arbitrage on the other chains, and that could be why it looks bullish on WAXP. So like that can be misleading. Then you need to understand like
it also trades on KuCoin, by the way.
What markets the the tokens that you're trading on, in order for your analysis to be accurate, you need to be tracking all of the markets and not just one.
So yeah, here's Wombat and Ethereum on Uniswap. So like they do trade on all these other platforms too. But like, for example, if we check the Wombat token, here it is on KuCoin, and you can see, if I can zoom in, hold on, I'll just right click and reset chart. There we go. And here you can see,
mouse.
yeah. But here you can see we're not getting just like a huge spike up in volume, but rather it looks like people are using KuCoin to sell out of Wombat, which that totally makes sense to me. Like that's a lot of people use KuCoin for that type of thing. So you can see here the unbalanced volume is trending down and is relatively negative.
So it might be people are buying on Wax, bridging it over to KuCoin and then selling it.
Exactly right, because there might be a different price that you're getting. You know, right now on KuCoin, you're getting 0.17 cents per Wombat token, 0.18.
This is also kind of what we were talking about earlier when we said like there's a higher chance of being able to capitalize on immature markets, and since the token's brand new, you can actually be much more profitable arbitraging between the chains than you will once it's much more established and the price action isn't so fluctuating so drastically.
Yeah, so being aware of like the different places platforms assets trade on, and that's why again I was like I'd like to look at Ethereum and Bitcoin. They trade on many markets, and no matter where I go, it's gonna look the same. Like like right now we're looking at it on Coinbase here, right? So I could go Ethereum, USD on, let's go Binance, right?
That's just because
we're seeing the
also
same
I said earlier, most of the stuff is maintained by bots. So like the second the price changes on one, they're all, so it's not like there's not as many opportunities for arbitrage.
Exactly. The arbitrage opportunities exist, but they're like 0.2% or something. You know, you need millions of dollars to actually make that worthwhile. Whereas we can actually arbitrage some of these immature markets with like 100 wax. And that just wouldn't make sense as far as like transaction costs and stuff go with assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But you can see we're seeing like this is not changing. Like the on balance volume is depleting on, now we're on Kraken. It's depleting on let's go to Bitrex. Same thing. If we can go to it on, you know, any of these markets, for example, you know, crypto.com. Same deal. Maybe not the same spike, but we are seeing the same trend down. So because it's a much more established market and much more because it's much more established and much more mature, it's a lot easier to look at one portion of the picture and have a overview of all of it, because I don't expect this to be different because I'm on Coinbase than if I'm on, you know, Bitrex.
And most altcoins follow the same trajectory as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So by looking at what Ethereum and Bitcoin are doing, you're essentially looking at what Wax is doing.
Yeah. So basically the reason I want to look at this once a week when we check in on Tuesdays is I want to kind of, like I said at the beginning, I'm still staying in the Wax USDT pool because I expect the USDT to perform better than the Wax at the moment, which is why we're getting more Wax over time in that pool, because as Wax falls down in price, the USDT is being used to buy more Wax and keep the position in that liquidity pool 1-to-1. So, you know, if we start with 100 and then Wax drops in price relative to, let's say it's $1 per unit, right? And let's say Wax drops from $100 to 90 cents. Now we have 100 Wax against $100. Okay, so then we're using, you know, the dollars to buy more Wax, so that we now have $95 against like 110 Wax or whatever it makes to even out the liquidity pool and make the value of it 1-to-1. Hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of a complicated equation, but so we're checking in on the market again. We're still very much within the range. We're still seeing the on balance volume trending down. Everything's kind of like flat lately, like over the whole month of December. We're not really getting much action. I'm not really finding any price movements from here in Ethereum all the way to 1350 or all the way down to 1100. I don't really find that to be newsworthy. That's just expected range. That's just volatility. So until we break through one of these supports or resistance levels, I would say we're probably safe to assume we're in the trend. And because on the wider timeline, we're still seeing the trending of the on balance volume moving down, meaning money leaving the markets, and overall the being in the bull market here. I'm sorry, bear market. I'm still bearish, and this is helping me bias my opinions a little bit. So a nice way to get an even cleaner sense of this, because like I said, the closer we zoom in on these metrics, the more noisy they get. So the further we zoom out, it stands to reason the like more clean this pattern is. And here you can see basically since the start of the sell-off, the middle Bollinger Band line on the weekly charts. So the weekly chart, meaning that each one of these candles now represents a 7-day period of time, is holding as a very strong resistance level. And even right now, if we zoom back in, we are clearly closing weeks below, very rarely finishing a week above that middle line, and still very clearly, not oversold, trending down. This feels still very bearish to me. What I want to see is at least, a full week closing above this middle Bollinger Band line. And we're definitely not seeing that yet. So that combined with the fact that we're not oversold on the weekly, we're not making a higher high or trending up again in the unbalanced volume, indicating to me we're not out of this bear trend yet. We're probably going to continue to sell off. And almost certainly, I've been noticing there's a lot of connection between the crypto markets and the legacy markets, or the stock markets, if you want to not be a crypto like nerd and call it legacy finance.
What is the groundhog thing? If it sees its shadow, it's still winter. If it doesn't see its shadow, it's still winter.
It's something to do with this shadow, yeah. I don't know.
Which one is it? Is a shadow winter or no winter? But I feel like we need like some sort of crypto version of that. Like when you see the Bitcoin shadow, that's how you know crypto winter is over.
Yeah, crypto winter's coming. So we got 6 more months of crypto winter right now, I think, based on
that'd be a fun NFT to make, some sort of like Groundhog Day crypto winter thing.
Yeah, for real. I like that. And then here's something
I do think we should start. We've been going for over an hour on this, on the tech talk side of things. So I don't know if you have a summary.
That covers what we wanted to look at. The last thing I was just pulling up is the SPY. This is the stock market, and you can see it's also, this is the weekly still, it's also trending down. The money is leaving the stock market aggressively, but not that aggressively, because look at this point right now we're at is about the same, basically about the same amount of value in these markets as there was at this price point, meaning that look, the price is still much higher than it was the last time this amount of value or money was in these markets. That to me indicates we got a decent amount. Like we could move all the way down to here. This is the collapse during COVID-19. So we're still way above that value wise. It feels a little overvalued.
Thank you for the follow, Boulder Magic.
So following the SPY gives us kind of like the idea of the global like economy picture, whereas following Bitcoin and Ethereum's charts gives us more of a close-up on the crypto market within that global economy. So it looks like the global macro picture looks pretty bearish still, and so does the kind of like zoom in on the crypto market picture here. So let's stay the course. We got our wax investments in, and I think it's never a bad idea to dollar cost average if you're looking for buying opportunities. But I've kind of noted out here, these red lines are kind of my target for buying into this market. Obviously, you should make your own targets and do only what you're comfortable with. But I am interested in picking up some more cryptocurrencies when Ethereum falls to about $850. So if we see those prices, these red lines, I'm expecting to start loading my bags up again, because these are prices I've been waiting for literal years. And it's nice to have a target. And we've set targets, long time ago, and even for wax, we've now blown below those targets. So it's nice. Like I started buying some wax here around like 6-7 cents, but we set these targets back when wax was like, I think it was like 50 cents or 35 cents or something. So it sounded insane when we were looking at a chart that looked like, it was bottoming at 30 cents to be like, oh, we're dropping to 8 cents. Now it looks like 8 cents is a pipe dream still, because, oh man, what I wouldn't give to have 8 cents that's 100% higher than it is currently.
Boulder Magic has a question, and I'll open by saying this is speculation on our side, not financial advice, but how cheap will wax get when Ether gets to 850?
That is difficult to say. Ethereum is kind of like, so wax is kind of like its own, because it's very immature as far as like, it doesn't have a huge market cap or a huge market share. it's very volatile, and I could see wax falling back to, like initially, like I said, I had bought more wax around 5 cents. I think was my target here. Yeah, around 5 cents, and it's fallen below that still. And I do think we can fall below here further. But again, we're on the weekly now. This is starting to look oversold to me, and you can see the on balance volume as we're going down is actually climbing. But again, we're looking just at Qcoin. This is interesting because it suggests as these prices are falling, money is actually flowing back into the asset class. That is an early indication of a kind of bottom or a flip in the trend. I think 4.2 cents is a fantastic price. I thought 5 was a good price. I was buying around these prices, and I will continue to. And a good way for me to do that is to participate in a liquidity pool that has half of its exposure, like in our DeFi position here. 50% of this pool is in dollars. So if wax does keep falling, I will continue to buy wax at an average rate as the price falls. Eventually, when it falls to a like low enough price and you see it bottoming out, I'll close this liquidity pool position, use the remaining US dollars to average buy in over time, again, slowly into the rest of my wax position and grow a wax bag that way. I think it's never a great idea to try to time the very bottom or the very top of a market, but rather to try and position yourself in a way that average buys you in, and never be afraid to like exit or enter a market that you believe in or believe will become lower. Because
a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the short answer is no one knows what happens tomorrow, and that includes Wall Street, like major hedge fund leaders too, who are plugged into the Bloomberg terminals and get this information 10 minutes before.
Look at all the major exchanges that collapsed. They don't know what the fuck's going on. If they saw this collapse, they wouldn't have been invested in crypto with all their fucking money.
It was crazy to me that like Celsius and FTX, they were leveraged long on chain with their they basically were still betting the market was coming up as we were looking at these charts being like, oh yeah, it's coming down, and so I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's weird to me that these bigger players aren't able to read like what a basic chart is. Like here's the weekly chart, right? For Wax, look at Wax did really well popping off of these middle lines, and then here we lost it. At this point, I was like, okay, that's the end. Like sure, I missed the very top at like $1, but at like 40 cents, I still did very well selling the bulk of my Wax, and now waiting for this to flip back. So again, what
it's
we're
crazy. It's worth like 10x less.
Yeah, and that's like, oh, and people, when I sold that, like when I told people I was selling around 40 cents, people were like, you missed the boat. It was 80 cents like a month ago. And yeah,
people are also like Bitcoin is going to go to 100K. People are saying that when we're like, oh, I think we're going to sell now. People are still thinking Bitcoin. They're like, oh no, it just like dipped down to 30. It's going to hop back up to 100, even though we were at like 60.
And then when we looked at this part, like, oops, I'm going to get a little closer. When we looked at it before any of this extra shit was starting to drop, you can see here, not only did we close the week below the middle B-band line, but we had started making lower lows on this on balance volume. So we were starting to see money leaving the market. And, like, yeah, it looks oversold already, but man, it stayed oversold for months. And then it didn't take much to bump out of that. And we can continue to see this kind of like flatlining RSI. What I'm more interested in seeing is a full week closing above the middle B-bands line. We're not seeing that yet. So again, I'm not trying to time the very bottom of this market. I did have targets set at these red lines. I have been buying at those levels. And sure, like the stuff I bought at, 8 cents is now down 50%. But I mean, I also bought more at, 5 cents. And I would probably buy more if we keep falling to like 2.5 cents. I'm definitely interested again. So I'll add another red line to here after I take a look at where I want that line to be. But a really good metric for this is to keep your eye on the weekly charts and see when a week starts to break above the middle Bollinger Band line, since that is the smooth moving average and traditionally speaking, a very good indicator for where resistance is in a bear and a bull market. And I think that kind of covers it before all this stuff starts going in.
You want to jump into blockchain brawlers? We we're whitelisted to if we stream in the Blockchain Brawlers category, people can win free Blockchain Brawlers NFTs by watching us. So I feel like that would be fun. I'll switch our category on Twitch, but yeah, I'll post a link to, hopefully this is a public link, but you need to like link your Twitch account to your Wax wallet in order for you to claim the thing. But you need to watch like this week. I think it goes, I don't know if it's this week or multiple weeks, but you need to watch 2 hours of people watching, and it should like fill up on your Twitch drops. Like on the Twitch category, you should see your time going up as long as you have drops enabled.
Oh, that's pretty dope. Yeah, that's cool that they added that Twitch drop integration directly for Wax blockchain stuff.
They're also, this is the test. Once, if it works for Blockchain Brawlers, they're going to allow other creators to whitelist their collection. So we could potentially distribute NFTs from our collection through this.
I think I actually have to still source my Blockchain Brawlers pack, like my deck. Do you have a deck built already? You want to do a game?
Can you not just play for free?
I guess let's see. So I'll say play now. So the first thing I did, by the way, was I went to bcbrawlers.com. Click play now, and then let's see how to play the game, start crafting. So I'm going to say play the game, right?
Yeah, that opens a new window.
Yeah. So let's do this.
There should be like a free-to-play mode. I'll turn on
I actually really like this kind of like the game here is fun. At least the beta of it that I played, I still just haven't gotten around to like getting my deck up. And
we can also do that now. We're past tech stuff now, on NFT stuff. Showing people to build a deck is probably not the worst thing in the world.
Here we go. Let's see if there's still a free to play mode, so people could actually try it out before they commit to like.
It's supposed to be, because like otherwise it's gonna be hard for everybody to buy all the assets before playing. But yeah, Blockchain Brawlers PvP is live. You can now stake Brawl to the game, so you can bet Brawl, and if you beat your opponent, you get the Brawl they bet. So the whole like PvP thing's kind of live. It's sort of a slow rollout. I feel like they kind of like preemptively launched and like PvP is live, and then like hardly anything worked. So it's kind of just like a disappointing launch. And now that it actually does kind of work, it's like I feel like the steam was all blown off, all the hype left.
Yeah, they should have waited till it was more like in its. So let's see. Let's me set my loadout. Let's see. There's a male profile leaderboards loadout. I am guest right now, so let's see. Set my loadout. Missing 12 required things. Okay.
What happens if you just click Brawl though instead of loadouts?
Okay, let's go to Brawl. I'm not sure I can just start a Brawl. I don't see.
Do you? No, you don't fill out our form. Sorry, the form's not what you need. You need. Let me find it 1 sec. About this drop, it'll be this form, I believe.
Okay, let's see.
I just build a deck live. I feel like let me do that. But it's this twitch.hivebp.io, and this should bring up the Blockchain Brawlers thing, and it should allow you to link. You have to sign in with your web wallet, and then also sign in with Twitch, and then they should be linked. I think I did this from the creator end. Like this is what they sent us as a creator. I assume it's the same for a viewer, but
adding like moves. Okay. Oh, but it won't let me do them on a set.
Do you not own a Ton?
I guess not, but this is also like not my. I haven't signed in. I'm just guest right now, so I should be able to do this without owning. I also doesn't own a number 2.
That's weird.
Which is a little strange. It looks like there's a little bit of a hiccup here. So like I can't add any of these number 2s because I don't actually own them. So if I actually owned them, I could add. You'd want a deck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you need at least
what happens
one
if you click
time.
The optional taunts. Is there anything
for here? it shows me all of them because I have it set to all right now, and then if I say owned, it says I don't own any.
Weird.
Yeah, let's see, maybe I don't need them. No. Missing. It's weird that it won't let me do this.
Especially since like the guest, you would assume it just has like.
Yeah, why does it not just have like a number 2 character? That's weird. There might be
Do you
like
want to build an actual deck or no?
I'm down, yeah. I have to grab my Ledger wallet and plug it in so I can actually use some wax here and scoop some of these assets on the secondary.
Okay, well, I'm down to do that if you are.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Show people
Let me
how
go
to
grab
build.
go grab my wallet then.
I'll post in the Blockchain Brawlers Discord too, see it. And I guess this is the alert for anybody out there. If you want to play against Max, he's going to be building a deck. So if you can get your deck ready, you can play against Max. Maybe I'll do a Grubfish giveaway while we're waiting. We're currently on hiatus for marbles. We're in between marble seasons right now. We're taking a little bit of a break. I'll do the marble results either tomorrow or Thursday. I think Thursday. I think tomorrow we're not scheduled to stream.
There we go. Alright, let me sign in.
I'm doing a Grubfish real quick.
Nice, yeah. The only thing I'll do so far is sign in and then see what I can
We will
do.
give away. We'll give away a retro Xmas Momoko. It's not safe for work collection, so you can't see it, but it's just a kind of looty with the Santa outfit. And it's got unlockable content. You can see the artist drawing it, which is pretty cool. But this is what you'll win.
Yeah.
Let's do a Grubfish.
The unlockable stuff is really cool too. It's currently exclusive to Atomic Hub, I think, because it's like the content is on their servers.
All right, it's time. Exclamation point play if you want to join the giveaway. Then we're going to do some blockchain brawlers. So if you're interested in that,
Let's try it out. Let's see. Let's see how I can sign into here.
all right. Last call, exclamation point play if you want to join this giveaway. It's for the Lewd Momoko. BDAO's in the house. Shout out BDAO. Shout out to his family. We're doing good, BD. Thanks for joining us.
Shout out to his family.
Profile.
All right, let's go. Damn, Fat Boy's just cruising. Yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. This is our inaugural Blockchain Blvd Podcast #1, which, if you've been around, we're just combining Wax Wednesday and Tech Tuesday, because those are kind of our crypto theme days. So on Tuesdays from now on, we'll be doing, half the show will be looking at our 100 Wax investment, Wax DeFi, and the crypto market, and then the other half will be going over any new Wax drops or new Wax gaming stuff that's happening.
Trying to figure out how I can log in or out of this. Like, how can I sign into my own wallet? That's weird. That's not like
Sure. Sign out from the top right where it has your account and stuff. Where it says how much money you have or how much sprawl you have.
Yeah, you'd think so, but I don't see a way to do it there.
I can't see your screen right now, but I think it's on the landing page that's not the game page. It's the page before you click play game.
Gotcha. Let's see.
Who won that? I missed it. Tofu Titan. I don't recognize your name, Tofu Titan. If you're new here, got a form. You can just fill out this form. We will send the prize at some point after the show. Also, you only need to fill out the form once. If you've ever been here before, we save the entries on the form, but I just don't recognize your name, so I mentioned it. How long will the stream be up for? I don't know exactly how long we'll be up for. I'm thinking we'll also probably do some more blockchain brawlers on another day this week. This is kind of a last second throw in, but
yeah, I would have prepared a little bit better to see how to sign in, because I'm still like, I'm looking for the sign in option. It used to be in the top right where it's like wallet sign in, but I don't see it there anymore.
Here, let me throw your screen up. See if we can...
Let's see, right now this one's loading. Here's the home screen.
Thank you for the cheer, so Sneaker. We appreciate it.
Play game here, so this is that.
It should be in the top right on this one when it loads.
Okay, let's see. Let's close this.
It's also weird you can't play as a guest, though. I feel like that's an issue. How are people supposed to like learn how to play the game if they have to buy like a bunch of assets before they?
Yeah,
but this is also
that seems like a strange
still
misstep.
pretty like
Can devs do something?
alpha beta-y. This is also a thing where it's like they kind of launched this before it's ready, so it's like takes the
yeah. So that takes me to this screen here, right? It loads up to here.
Where was the previous screen? The one that has the go home. Click on that.
Previous screen was that.
No, not that one. Here. No, go back.
Should just go home up here.
Yeah,
this takes me to that same spot though. See?
And then top right, click the picture of the luchador mask. That's left. Top right. Log out. There you
go. They really hit that one.
That's where it's always been. It's been there the entire time.
Here we go. I'm gonna do this from my hardware wallet because that's.
It's because you don't have a profile picture. If you had a profile, like your avatar would be there, and then it would be more obvious. That's like where you click your profile.
Okay, I have my brawler stuff on my Max Collected wallet.
Yeah, we're gonna try to build. Max hasn't built a deck yet, so we're gonna build the deck first, and then if anybody wants to play, we'll do some matches, and maybe we'll give away some NFTs. Like if you beat Max, we'll give you NFTs if people are into that. If you have a deck,
big if you beat Max though.
Also, like I thought you could play without a deck, but we had issues doing that, so it looks like only if you already own a deck will we be able to play against Max. So we'll see if this works. But
yeah, let's see. I do have an ass load of brawl tokens that I've been slowly stacking here. Okay, get in the ring with #1 fighting game. Let's go play.
Yeah, accept the terms of service. You probably have to sign.
That tracks.
That's probably saying if you're cheating, they can free shit in your account and stuff too. So, be aware if you're planning on doing sketchy shit, like when you send stuff to their smart contracts and like it's out of your wallet, then it's in kind of their jurisdiction. I think, I don't know.
There we go.
I haven't read it super closely, but I think they might have the ability to like freeze your stuff if you're cheating. So be careful out there.
Now I'll go to
be aware of what you're signing.
Yeah, and
or don't cheat. That's also the easy way. Is if you don't just break the rules, then you're fine. But if you're gonna cheat, be aware of what your fucking rules are breaking, so you don't cry about it when your shit gets locked.
Yeah, why don't you cry about it?
Why don't you cry about it? I have that. Let me get the soundbite.
Let's see. Here we go. Okay, this time.
Fucked up, and I put like in the titles. I have like apostrophes and stuff, and it makes it so hard to find.
Well, why don't you cry about it?
Like its time is IT''S, and if I type ITS, it doesn't come up. So like I either retitle all the things without apostrophes so I can find them faster.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Here we go. Now it's loading in. This time I logged into my actual wallet. I should see my brawlers in here. I have a few cool ones like deck.
I read the blockchain brawlers thing pretty fucking like intensely because when I first was playing, I was playing on 2 accounts because they literally in the Discord were like, play on 2 accounts is better. I was like, if the moderators are in here saying they're playing on 2 accounts, I feel like it's okay. But like, what does the terms of service do? So I like deep dove in. It did say you're not supposed to play more than 1 account in the TOS. But like, literally, Mike and everybody's just kind of like, as long as you're not running a bot farm, you can run 2 accounts. Like, it's fine as long as you're not doing shit that a human couldn't do. But
yeah, okay, let's see. Do I have
Even
any
that stressed me out. I don't really like multi-counting. It doesn't feel good.
decks? So I don't have the decks. Where's my brawler though? Missing a brawler. Okay. Wait.
It says there's nothing
What-
there.
what?
Did you deposit your? You have to deposit them from your
Oh,
out of
to
game wallet
deposit
to
it
your in-game
first.
wallet.
Okay, and that happens.
I'm turning the music back on.
Let's see. That happens back on the home screen, right? Or settings? Let me check.
Yeah, I believe
Oh,
it's on the home.
I gotta go back home then. And deposit some of my
See, this is why we're figuring it out on stream. So everybody else.
We'll do it live, baby.
At this rate,
All right,
everybody's gonna get their 2-hour unlock before we do a single round. But that's good for people want us to
Okay,
do
here
this
we
for
go.
longer. So
Inventory. In game, here we go. Wallet NFT assets. Let's see. Okay, I have a neon freak. Let's see. I want this guy.
I will say it was pretty funny. One of the well-known community members was calling out somebody for botting, and then that person just flipped it back like, "Hey man, you're also botting. Like, here's the info on your account." I was like, "Holy shit, is everybody botting this project?" But I don't know. That was back in the click farm days. You can't really bot the current version of the game, but it was absolutely bottable when you had to click a button once an hour, and it was also super financially incentivized. Like at one point, gold was selling for like $30 a pop. So there's a lot of financial incentive to exploit the game back in the day. My dumbass just played on 2 accounts so I could grind into NFTs that became worth about 100x less. I could have just sold everything and then bought it back. But I actually enjoyed playing the game, and I crafted a colt. I went from having a common to crafting an epic. I'd reinvested all the crafting, but I don't know. I made my money back and then just reinvested in the game because this is not a money printing operation for me. I'm just trying to get cool brawlers.
I guess I have to deposit them one at a time. I tried to check the boxes and then hit deposit up here, but that wouldn't let me do it. So I'm going to deposit.
There might be a mass deposit.
Yeah, I thought that's what that was in the top. I like the guy who's flipping people off. Maybe I'll do him. Oh, I already did that.
That means you already deposited it.
I'll give the guy who's all beat up.
You really only need one to play. They do add for your score though, so if you are going to be betting, the percentage that the house takes of the rake of the house is dependent on your power score, and your power to score is dependent on how many staked brawlers you have. So the more brawlers you stake, the higher your power score, and the less percentage the house takes when you win of your winnings.
Okay, that's good to know.
And
Okay,
same
so
goes with swag.
that.
Swag is doubled. So your naughty Living Dead is twice as much as a normal.
Oh, hell
Naughty.
yeah. That's
So
dope.
swag wins are worth 2x. And then the rarities, the higher rarities have more power score than the lower ones.
Alright, and I
So,
should deposit.
You probably have to
Okay.
deposit the cards too if you haven't already.
Okay, so I don't think I have any cards yet, so I'm gonna go scoop some cards.
The absolute fastest way is you could probably just buy a starter pack.
Okay, let's do that. I haven't actually done that.
I
so-
think they're only $3 or $4 right now. They're not expensive.
so I'm gonna
You should be able to
start
find
by-
that just on Atomic Hub. Or you could probably find it in the Brawl Mall on the interface.
Okay,
But
yeah,
that
let's
one's
see.
it's kind of
Or where
janky
do
as
I-
far as
Where do I go to drop my exchange, right? To deposit my brawl.
yeah.
Deposit, yeah. So I'm gonna deposit. Does it tell me how much I have in my wallet? I'm gonna deposit 10,000.
It has you have 0 Brawl in your wallet.
What?
You don't need that. You should just do what we need to play a free game instead of
Okay,
trying
okay,
to
let
set
me
up
do
the
that.
betting stuff.
I wanted to do the brawl so I could buy the thing on the marketplace though. So it's in the shop, you say?
I think it's also the arbitrage is bad if you're buying in Brawl. It's better to buy stuff in Wax.
Oh, okay then.
It's
Let's just do
overpriced
this
in
then.
Brawl.
And it's called
but I
Starter
can't
Pack.
remember. Yeah. I think Mike has been scooping the floor of
Alright, listing. Let's see.
this also
price.
might still be jacked up. Last time I checked, it did not work when you start by price lowest, which is on the bottom.
Let's take a look. It didn't really change anything. It's jumping from.
200 is
whatever.
the cheapest.
I can do.
How much
200.
is that? 200 wax is what,
200?
$5?
Yeah, so I need to send myself some wax first. I will do that from my wallet where I keep my wax. So that is yield farming.
I'll change our banner to lot.
Let's see. So like I was saying earlier, with like I'm trying to hold on to my wax, so you can see here my wax is deep inside these liquidity pools. So if I want 200 wax, I can pretty quickly come here. That's way too much. Jesus, let's just type it in manually. I can't even slide the slider that low. Let's go like 20. There we go.
I think it was. Oh, I guess if you sell the USDT, it'll be good.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do.
But yeah, the starter packs are basically just for convenience. Like you can buy everything within the starter pack. I have to check the prices, but I assume for less. I assume you can just pull everything out of the packs cheaper. But the starter pack does give you everything you need. Actually, does it come with a brawler too? It might even come with It might come with the mic in there. I'm not sure.
All right, I have a mic, but I'm taking on a mic. Let's see. Okay, so I have 300 wax, so that'll do it. So now I'll just say buy this. Confirm.
I wonder if I can check really quick if that's the cheapest. Just make sure.
Oh yeah, you want to double
check? The filter's often broken. I don't know if they fixed it, but actually I think it works with the wax. It doesn't work when you search by brawl cheapest, but let me just check to confirm. Starter.
Some of these are listed in USD.
The cheapest one is 200 wax.
Okay.
So I think it's more expensive than they've been lately. Just FYI.
That's fine. I just wanted to see what's in this pack.
Actually, one sold for $12. Who the fuck? Why did someone buy one on the same day for? That must have been like a
overdrawn balance. That's not true.
Actually, you're getting it for cheaper than it sold in a minute.
Oh, I'm gonna refresh this page so that it updates my wax balance. Okay.
It's also interesting, like when you buy out of this, it says it's purchased not by you, but it's purchased by the VRL bot. So like when you purchase this,
oh, so I do have to deposit the wax somewhere because it says I have an overdrawn balance. Do I have to?
you can also just go buy it on Atomic Hub.
Yeah, that'll be what I do.
But yeah, you might need to deposit the wax balance to the in-game balance, which makes sense because you're not actually buying it. It's a bot that's buying it for you. So the wax isn't coming from your wallet. It's coming from like the in-game wallet.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that, if I'm being honest, because it says like anything you buy from VRL through the game is bought by that. So like you can't track who's buying stuff. It just looks like one account is buying everything. So like it really fucks up the blockchain data as far as like being able to like, you know, the tool that Chain Champs just built, which has like circular trading. It's going to look like everything's being circular traded. So it's all being bought by the same account, you know?
You know what? The problem was also that I didn't actually have any money in Max Collected since I was on yield farming to get that out. So I just sent it to myself.
That'll do it.
Let's see if that was the issue here. Send. Your account is not whitelisted. Son of a bitch.
I would just
not one thing, it's another. If it's not one thing, it's the next. Okay. So, I mean, now it says 9 wax, but if I refresh, it'll fill in there, 300 something. So I say BC.
I guess for people that are new, if you haven't already been involved with Blockchain Brawlers is a wrestling themed card game. I'd say it's most close to like poker or like thank you for the follow, by the way, WJS Church or Chutch, I don't know what your name was, but yeah, it's not really a trading card game. It's made by Richard Garfield, who made Magic the Gathering, but it's not like a deck building game because everybody's the same cards. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there 9? But you get one of each number. So like the strategy is not in building your deck because you all have the same numbers. The strategy is playing those cards against each other. So that's why it's closer to poker, because like the decks are all preset. And then it's sort of like War, where it's just like whoever has the better hand wins each time. But then there's some stuff that like kind of throws on its head, because if you bluff, there's like putting a larger card face up than face down. If you do that, if they call you, no matter what, you lose. But if they fold, you win. So there's like a way that you can play a shittier hand but make bluff into like trying to win. It does extra damage and stuff. So there is strategy around like, because like when I first started, I was like, this is war, but with NFTs, I'm like, that's gonna be boring as fuck. Like there's no strategy in war. You're just pulling cards and hoping you get the higher one. But there is actually significant strategy involved in blockchain brawlers, and like if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get just dunked on by people that are a little bit better. So I enjoy that part of the game. It's very simple because there's only a couple cards, but like, yeah, I don't know. I hope they hit that sweet spot of like, I feel like games like Rocket League are perfect because they're really simple. Everybody understands immediately how to play Rocket League. You're trying to hit the ball towards the goal, but the difference between a brand new player and somebody who's doing air verticals, fucking varials or whatever they call them, where you're flying through the air and like doing all of your ball adjustment while rocketing through the sky, like the amount of skill level between that and a new player is insane. So I like games where it's like easy to hop in, but then it's all right. So is this your pack you just opened?
Yeah, that was the pack you just opened. It opens on Nifty Blocks, so I initially was trying to like deposit it.
So you open the pack on Nifty Blocks, and can you show it? Can you go back to it real quick just so we can show it? It's in there.
So it opened for.
You buy the starter pack. You get one of each number, which you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Is there a 9? There's a 9, right?
No, 8 is the highest.
Okay, 8's the max. And then you need, this is asking your question, Chutch. What do you need? Sorry, how do you get into brawlers? You need one of each number card. So you need 1 through 8. You need one finishing move, one attack move, and one taunt, which those are cosmetic cards. They don't actually change the gameplay at all. But yeah, you need one taunt, one finisher, and then you also need one brawler. And the cheapest one is going to be the artifact brawler, which is Mike. You might need to refresh.
So now I'm going to deposit these. We should have, let's see. It might actually take a second for this thing. Let's see.
Yeah. But you need one of each. You need one of each of the number cards, a brawler, and then 3 of the action cards, which one's attack, one is taunt, and one is a finisher. The brawler was in the starter pack. I do think you can buy all the stuff cheaper than the pack. The pack was $8 when Max bought it, and I think you can probably get all this stuff for like $5 if you buy it individually. The pack is just nice because it has everything in one spot. So like it's more convenient and you don't need to go digging through like to find everything you need separately. But one thing you could do is you could like open up the pack on one tab and then just kind of copy and paste, be like, this is what's in the pack, and then just find those all individually. If you get separately outside of the pack, everything that's in the pack, it's everything you need to play. Because I also think Max just jacked up the floor of the packs. The floor of the packs, I think, is now like $10 or $12, and I think you can definitely get it for cheaper if you're buying it individually. Yeah, it's really, if you're a landowner, you should be making some more starter packs because the starter packs seem to be selling better than like the individual stuffs.
Now if I go to 9 NFTs. Actually, you better stop.
It takes a minute for the stuff to adjust on the blockchain. It's like it doesn't do it immediately. You know how it says like it needs 20 out of 20 transactions confirmed. It doesn't show up until then.
Oh yeah, see, it just found my pack here, so I've already opened this. So I'll have to wait for this now. While I wait, I'm going to take a bite of this pizza.
Let's do another giveaway. We can give away a perfect time for grubfish.
Oh, that's not bad. I want to watch the giveaway.
And we'll give away
Pizza.
We got another Christmas Sune. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all got festive these holidays, and if you didn't, I hope you just had a good December. It's just exclamation point play, but we're not ready yet. So we'll give away that. Shout out to Valor and Vellum. Priscilla, she's a friend of the brand, friend of the Neon Space. Exclamation point play if you'd like to join this giveaway.
Yeah, Priscilla's Sune figures are super dope.
Let's do it's time.
Hell,
now it's time is not showing up even with the.
We'll have to do it analog style.
It's time!
Costco
the good news
pizza,
is we
baby.
still have a blockchain brawlers enabled, so the Twitch drops are still enabled even when we do other stuff. We'll get you all your free NFTs. Don't worry about it. Free NFTs for everybody. I feel like Oprah.
You know,
Free
what do
NFT for
you get for that?
Look under your seat. There's a free NFT.
What is the NFT?
I don't know what the NFT is. If I'm being honest, I have no idea what it is.
I wonder.
I doubt it's anything like super valuable because then it'll be exploited to all fuck, you know?
No, I feel like if it is something super valuable, I would sell it early.
I will read everything it says. Good news, everyone. The WAXP NFT X Twitch integration is now live. We set up a test drop for Blockchain Brawlers. Viewers watching a Blockchain Brawler stream for 2 hours are rewarded with the exclusive and limited edition Brawler Vision NFT. Well, they just answered it. We will announce this to the community later today. Oops. Maybe I wasn't supposed to... Don't know if this is publicly announced yet. I might have just blown the cover of Blockchain Brawlers. But, yeah. That's happening. They said they'd announce it later today at 2 a.m. So, like... 12 hours ago. They should have announced it by now if they didn't. And the drop ends on January 23rd. You only have one per Twitch account, so it'll be a couple weeks. Let me see if I can pull up the image, though. So it does, in the announcement, there is an image. I didn't realize that was the NFT. I, like, half read the campaign opt-in.
You also don't...
There.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is what it looks like. It's a little TV with Blockchain Brawlers on it, but this will be the NFT.
I wonder what... Can you do something with the in-game? Is it like a stake and adds to your power score or something?
Make it hard to hear what you're saying. You're speaking into your pizza, not the mic.
Yeah, the pizza really loved her in it.
What'd you say, though?
I was saying, I wonder if it'll like up your power score or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll have in-game utility. I kind of imagine it won't because I think that would break. Like, that's just not good for the economy and stuff. Because like whoever exploits it the most, like, because people are gonna multi-account this. If you make multiple Twitch accounts, you can just get a shit ton of these. So like, I personally, as a project leader, would not want to be giving out like in-game utility because then you're just gonna reward people who are abusing the system more than the real people.
Yeah, I agree. Costco pizza, though, by the way, amazing. Oh, damn, that's a lot of grubs.
Got them grubbies.
I haven't seen any red tails, though. I got a red tail on mine. Be jealous.
And that means we don't have a... Who's the other one that always comes in long hair? I think long hair has a red tail. There's long hair of the gold tail.
You might have the gold tail, I think.
Costco hot dog, the best deal. I haven't had a Costco hot dog in a long time. I would eat one of those.
They stopped adding like over the pandemic, like you couldn't get like onions and sauerkraut and all that stuff. It was like just ketchup and mustard. And when that was the case, I was like, nah, I'd rather have a slice of pizza then. It's all about the onions and the relish and the sauerkraut. I fully load that.
It's 2023. We're back to spitting each other's mouths. We're all into it now. I am curious. Yeah. This is going to be my first time working on set in a long time. I wonder if they're going to require us to wear masks. Like last time I was working on film sets, which I'm working on one this weekend. One, you had to get COVID tested before every single shoot. Like you had to get COVID tested. I was getting COVID tested like twice a week back when COVID was really kicking off. Jeff! Shout out to Jeff. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to make me wear a mask because it definitely does suck wearing a mask like when you're doing physical labor and sweating and stuff. Also, like, the days go longer than 12 hours, so, like, wearing a mask longer than 12 hours, it leaves, like, it's just, like, very uncomfortable around your ears and stuff, but we'll see. I also will wear one if they want me to. I'm not going to, like, cry about it, but just curious to see if, like, the social norm has switched since the last time I worked on set.
Yeah, now they're just straight up coughing your face. I'm still waiting on the blockchain brawlers to, like, recognize it still sees I have the pack at the moment. I just refreshed. I think we can do one more.
All right, we can do another giveaway. Just pasting into Discord.
Oh man, Marcy really wants a slice of this pizza.
What should we give away?
Just a little piece of bread.
Kind of running low on these. I can give away another retro Momoko. We have a bunch of these.
I like those too. I like the Momo profile project too.
These can also, if you're new to the Lewd Momoko series, these can be blended into a Momo coin, and the Momo coins are like the neon blend tokens that are used for new blends. So if for whatever reason you don't like the Santa version, you can potentially get new artwork, or if you get duplicates, you can blend them and then use the duplicate blends to get some new artwork. But they have a similar blend thing going on to our collection, so just be aware of that if I guess it's also like a possibility, like, you know, like if somebody doesn't want to buy this and you're trying to sell it, you could maybe sell the token because it's more desirable. So it gives people an opportunity for exit liquidity as well. All right, exclamation point play if you would like to join the giveaway.
We got a half cheese, half pepperoni pizza. I gotta say the cheese is pretty fucking good too.
I feel like I would go
Full pep.
shit. Rax is in the house. Maybe we should have done a tourist station hat.
Oh yeah.
We're giving away
What,
a
you-
Christmas Momoko right now, though.
What should I give you something?
Yeah, I think our community game day will be on Thursday. And then Friday, we're moving Super One Saturday to Friday, so I think this Friday we're due for another blend, or are we not? I put it on the schedule, Super Blend, but now I can't remember. Did we do, was last week Christmas or was it the week before?
I think last week, right?
Last week was New Year's Eve. So we are due for a blend. Our last blend was on Christmas, which was Saturday, or Christmas Eve, which was the 24th. So we are due for a naked blend. We'll do, I don't know if we've done Mark the Narc. We'll do like whatever the last naked blend is, but that'll be this Friday. So just be aware, everybody, that not Super One Saturday, Super One Friday. I feel like we got to come up with a better name for it too. Bonfire Friday. I don't know. What's a better alliteration?
Yeah, a good one. Yeah, I'll have to think of something.
DiGiorno Hawaiian.
I don't know. DiGiorno does have stuffed crust pizza for like bake at home, which is pretty great.
I feel like DiGiorno's always been pretty mid. I feel like they went hard on their commercials. They have good commercials. It's not delivered to DiGiorno. They have a great fucking tagline. But I feel like I'm always disappointed when I have DiGiorno. I'll say that about all frozen pizza though. There's like very rarely do I make a frozen pizza and I'm like, this was better than if I just ordered from Domino's. Like Domino's, Little Caesar shits on most frozen pizza. Little Caesar is pretty bad.
2 gold tails this time, but they both got squashed. Yeah, I don't know. Domino's is really good.
One of the only really good
I
frozen
regretted
pizzas I
after.
had was the one from Chicago, the deep dish that my dad mailed me. Like it was like frozen and sent from Chicago. Those were really fucking good, and those are better than like Domino's. But very rarely, like anything you get in the grocery store, do I think is better than like even just the most basic hole in the wall pizza stuff, making it fresh. That's my opinion, at least.
There's a couple of really good pizza spots around here, like the pizza from, let me think, what's that place called? Gorilla Pies. And then there's also
WJS Church or Church. I keep trying to call you Church.
what's that one? No, the one with the bad service. They're like, Pablitos. Pablitos is also really good. Just, expect to be frustrated when you deal with those people.
Pablito sounds like one of the reindeers in that song we listened to the other day. And Pancho, and Blitzen. Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus?
Let's see.
We also have to be a lot more aware of, like, if we're going to be re-uploading shit to Spotify, we definitely cannot be playing copyrighted music on these streams anymore, which is a little sad. Growing up a little bit.
Yeah. Dang, it really is taking its time for fucking... Oh, here we go. Okay, finally. All right. If you want to swap... Marcy, stop it.
All right, Blockchain Brawler just pulled up.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do the multi-deposit one more time here.
You're not WJS. You're not the same person that's like the Begeert or whatever, like BEGER.
Let me do it.
I feel like that person's
Mercy,
WJS as
stop.
well, right?
Get out of here. What are you trying to do? I need the
But I feel like they
space.
have a different Twitch name. I could be wrong.
Marcy, you already got a slice.
I haven't really been keeping up with Costume Clash, but that's who I know. Big Geert or whatever the name is from.
Let's see. Yeah, I saw Costume Clash was on my Steam.
They are BEWIJS. I was close to. It's WIJS, not. Yeah, but I was close. You have a similar name to someone that's like one of the best racers in another WAXP game. They're like, that person wins like all of the time trials in a
Costume Clash.
All right, I'll turn. Is your sound shared or no? Probably not, right?
No, I don't think so.
I'll turn on some music then.
Oh, I got another mic. So there was a brawler in that pack, by the way. That's not bad for 200 wax. A brawler and everything you need, like straight up everything you need.
I think Josh has been pretty busy. He's still working on the Unity plugin for WAXP. I think that's sort of been like the focus over Costume Clash currently.
That's a pretty cool thing though to like make available to everybody.
Josh made like a Mario Kart style game called Costume Clash for WAXP. It's functional, it's playable, it's a 3D game. But he got a grant from the WAXP team, from WAXP Labs, to create like a Unity plugin or Unreal, Unity or Unreal. I don't know. It's basically so like developers of a certain game developer engine can instantly integrate with the WAXP blockchain. It just like makes it easier for game developers to work on WAXP. Unity is what 6-Bit Glitch says.
Yeah, the Unity.
Who was using Unreal? Was it Hodel God that was using the Unreal Engine? I feel like somebody was building an Unreal, but yes, that's good for WAXP. And while like Costume Clash might be getting not as much love as it could be if he wasn't working on that, it could open up the doors to way more developers being able to build on WAXP functionally. So I do think it's very good for WAXP in general, and I appreciate the work that Josh does. I think he's the first guy that I met on WAXP. I was like, you released a game on PlayStation. Like the PlayStation 3 store marketplace has a Costume Kingdom, I think it was called. It was Costume something, but so yeah, like the fact that he had successfully published a video game on a console was like, okay, this guy isn't just like some crypto bro that sees this as an opportunity to basically like, soft rug and crowdfund something they can't build, which happened to a lot of the games we invested in. So like the fact that he's actually functionally built multiple 3D games is just like, to me, put him at a level of legitimacy above most of what we're investing in. So I appreciate that, like the professionalism and the expertise he's brought to WAXP. So it was definitely missing. But we have some more people now, like 6-Bit Glitch here in the chat. 6-Bit Glitch is building Tour Station. And 6-Bit Glitch and the Reality Boffin team also built 3D for Nova Rally. So we are starting to attract more real game developers who are interested in gameplay and not just creating some sort of ROI Ponzi, which is nice. It just seems like there's a lot of the other stuff too. You got to sift through a lot of the mining networks, the new Dino one was, which is now like count your chickens, or like every month there's a new one. They're all the same. They're just Ponzi's that people are like, I can get my money back in 30 days if this doesn't collapse, and just rolling the dice and hoping that happens, which is fine, I guess. At this point I've just accepted that's a lot of what WAXP is looking for. But I'm excited people are building stuff not for that audience, because the more you build for that audience, it's like, I don't know, people shouldn't be surprised when that's all that's selling on WAXP, because it's like, why would you make other projects when they don't sell well when that's what people are buying? So like the fact that the tour stations and the Nova rallies and the costume clashes even exist are attracting an audience that isn't the ROI flipper crowd. So like, yeah, I'm excited about that, but we're definitely still in the early days of like real game developers making stuff on WAXP.
Okay,
I don't know anything about Count Your Chickens, if I'm being honest. WJS. it just seems like the next mining network, Farmers World, like Ponzi. Like, it's just another one of those games where people are calculating their ROI, dumping a bunch of money in, and then the token will be worth a fraction of a wax in 8 months. Probably worth way more than it should be right now, but like, yeah, we've been wax for a couple of years, and just like every couple of months a new one of these pops up, and it's like they're never sustainable. They're not fun games. They're not really built to be sustainable. Like, they're built just so like whoever gets in first prints a shit ton of money, and whoever gets in last loses a bunch of money, and it's like happens over and over and over. I'm not a fan of it personally.
You mean another pepperoni?
And also, I guess I'm sorry if anybody's didn't count your chickens and it's not that. That's just what I assume it is at first glance. So maybe it is a really well thought out game with a solid economy, but 99 out of 100 of these projects launching in Wax are interchangeable and all just not going to last.
She got some crust. All right, here we go. Let's see. I should be good to go now. Let's see. Set your loadout. All right, here we go. I can see some brawlers. Oh, so yeah.
This is also good for anybody trying to get into blockchain brawlers. Know that you have to wait for the blockchain to confirm all the transactions for it to get into your wallet, and then to deposit it, you must wait again for the 20 confirmations or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a 2-minute like cooldown between signing the transaction and it being finalized.
The other thing I'll say is like Tofu Titan says you're like, I'm in DCYC. I also don't blame people for like there is money to be made on these projects. Like I told everybody mining network is going to collapse and is bullshit like all these other projects, and people made like 20x their investment before it collapsed. So like it's like you're gambling. Just know that it's not an investment, it's a gamble. You're gambling that you get your money back before it collapses, which is fine. Like I'm not against gambling. Like gambling's fun. I do it every time I open a pack. I'm gambling because if you open a pack and you get a rare thing, your money goes up, and if you don't, it goes down. Every pack opening RNG is a gamble. It's fun. So I get it. It's just sad to see that sells so much better than like real games and the people that are building real stuff. So like out of principle, I try not to support that stuff, but honestly, I bought into blockchain brawlers for that reason. I was like, blockchain brawlers is also going to like, it's going to collapse at some point. There's no way a token farming game is going to work, but I got in at the first pack drop and I like doubled my money in the first day. So it was like, it's like, yeah, I also am guilty of being like, if you see the opportunity and you get in early enough, it is lucrative. So like, I don't know. I try not to, and I try not to be a part of that system. But other times it's like, okay, I can see the writing on the wall. I happen to get here at the right time. Like, let's just make a little bit and then buy into the wax projects I do like. But yeah, I just think everybody should be aware that like they probably didn't invent some new like magical economy. Like mining network is like, no, we solved the problem. Like the hash rate and all this stuff, it'll never collapse because like it's like, no, this is all still a pyramid scheme. Like it's just a couple extra steps. Like you delayed the collapse by like making people reinvest more. But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, there has to be a fun game that attracts new players. Otherwise, it's a Ponzi scheme. Like, if you know enough about like pyramid schemes, there's like 6 layers of pyramid schemes. Like you can't profit. There's not enough people in the world. It's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever. Like once you get 6 layers in, there are no new people to bring into your pyramid scheme. So everybody who's the last in is going to lose money unless people buy in. There's not enough people in the world. So like all of these games have a shelf life unless they can continuously attract new players. And the only reason you're attracting new players is to make money. That's going to stop once like you hit that wall of, oh, the bottom level of the pyramid scheme, they can't make money anymore because nobody's playing the game for fun, only for the ROI. Whereas like a game that's for fun might end up being the pyramid thing where it collapses. But as long as people keep coming and playing and there's a new audience, there will be people who want to buy the assets in the future, which that's the problem with all these like ROI games is nobody wants to buy the assets unless it's lucrative. So the second the lucrative goes away, the entire thing is done. Whereas like a fun game, people will keep playing as the price fluctuates up and down. They're like, I want to play the games. I'll pay whatever it costs to buy the items. So I do think like long-term speaking, like real games are going to be the ones that are sustainable. And it's not going to be any of this like thing that's the only reason you buy in is ROI.
Yeah. All right, I am ready though to brawl. It looks like so I can go to brawl now, and it says brawl now.
And that's the other thing, Tofu Titan, is the only reason I say that now is I've invested in so many of these that have been unsuccessful that I just assume all of the new ones are like these people are not going to make a functional game. And that was another reason why I did invest in blockchain brawlers was I did my research. And Mike worked on Mortal Kombat. He worked on Madden 94. Like Mike, the head of WAXP Studios or Tyranno Studios now, he's developed 30 or 40 AAA studio games. So I was like, this guy isn't the same as these people that are just like crypto enthusiasts trying to launch a game that have never done it before. So I was like, worst case scenario, if I don't make my money back, there will be a functional game that'll probably be around for a couple of years.
Yeah. So it looks like I have a few options to play here. I can do an exhibition match against bots. I can do one ranked against a random opponent or a private one. And then I can do one that's like a stake match where I have to actually have some brawl. So I'm going to try against a random and see what happens here.
I think this is ranked but not staking, right?
Yes. Ranked, but there's no brawl on the line.
Yeah, if anybody just hops in, if anybody in the stream has brawlers and wants to play against Max, I'm happy to. We can give away some prizes for anybody who's able to stomp the king down.
You gotta beat me then.
Let me post in the blockchain brawlers thing. PvP matchmaking, maybe. What room are you in, Max?
Room 2.
All right. Well, I posted in blockchain brawlers, so we'll see if any players see it and want to pop in.
Yeah, I feel like after they make their announcement today, I might have a lot more luck finding randos.
I think they did announce it. I think I literally preceded their announcement. Yeah, it's not. That's funny. They're like, we'll announce this publicly later today, and I'm so on the ball that like we set it up first. Oh damn, dude, that sucks.
What?
You bought a pack a while ago when Wham got hacked and you lost the 5 brawlers you had. I hope you didn't buy the brawlers when they were super expensive. I hope those were more recently bought after the mining phase. Because if you bought them back when the mining phase was happening, that'd be pretty devastating.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Maybe just do a CPU match. I guess I'll hop in too if nobody else wants to.
Okay, check this out. I'll just show how this game works because it is pretty straightforward.
I want to make another T and I'll be right back as well.
So your power increases after every round you win and resets to 1 after losing. Okay, yeah, I know. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's loading up here. But I guess this power meter thing is important to know because that is like the foundation of the like gameplay here. Oh yeah, there's my guy. Okay, so this is my hand. I have a 6, a 3, and a 4. The setup card is the card the opponent will see, and the other one is my follow-up. I'm going to start with a 3 and a 4. So this 4 is my slam, it'll be face down, and the 3 is my face up card. He also puts a 3, so now I have to think, is my 4 higher than his face down card? Now I can bet 1, 2, or 3, and this will multiply against my multiplier. So I'm going to bet, let's say 1 for now, and see what this person bet. He also bet 1, so now we have to reveal, and the winner will win this showdown. So if he does a lower card than his revealed card, that would be a flex. Oh, and we tied, so now we're both doing our own damage to each other. I think both of our things reset, so I think we both stay at 1, or we both go up. No, we both stay at 1. So we both reset. A tie resets both scores as well, it seems. Now I have a 5, a 6, and 2 6s. This is pretty solid. So I'm going to say 5 and 6. That's like a proper hand. He put down a 2. Chances are there's no fucking way he beats me, because even with an 8, which is the highest card, he would have 10, and I have a total of 11. So now I'm going to bet 3 and say confirm. So now my attack, if it comes to a showdown, I would do 3 times 1, so 3 damage. But now he gets to decide, does he want to, what does he bet? So we'll see here. I think he folded. So by folding, it won't reveal his card, but next turn he gets to draw an extra card for the rest of the game. So instead of
the folding makes it so your power meter doesn't fall. So it's huge for strategy because like your power meter is how much damage you do, and it keeps going up every hand you win. So if you have like a 10 power meter and you're going to lose your hand, folding saves your power meter 10. But if you just played the hand lost, then you restart back at 1. So like folding is really like, if you think you're going to lose, it's definitely better to fold. The only reason you don't fold is because you think they're flexing, because if they're flexing and you fold, they automatically win. So
yeah, here we were both flexing. I could have beat him if I wasn't flexing. I was foolish. But I wanted to fold so that I could get another card. Now I have, a full hand here. So now I'm going to go 6 and 7. That's not a flex because my 6 is first and the 7 is higher. He's playing an 8. That means unless this is also an 8, he is flexing.
bet that computer's flexing. I don't trust.
I don't think he's fucking. I don't think he actually has an 8. So I'm gonna go fucking all out. I'm gonna say 3. So that'd be 3 times 2. This would do 6 damage if it goes through. He folded, so we don't actually go to a showdown. So it's just gonna do 3 damage.
So you knew he's flexing.
Yeah, he knew he couldn't fucking step it up. Oh, I should have right here. By the way, that's why it took so long. It pops up with what move I want to do. I only have my eye poke move right now, but if I own different NFTs, I can do different moves here whenever I win a showdown. So let's see. Here I'll do 3 and 6, right? And let's play that and let's see. So he played a 5. If he has a 5 or higher,
Hell yeah!
that's 10, and I lose. But if he's playing lower than a 5, I don't know. I'm gonna fold on this hand. I'm worried about that. He was flexing. Fuck. So now he gets a much bigger boost to his point because of his flex. But I get to keep my multiplier too. So fuck. I should have called his bluff.
Yeah, flexing also increases your power meter faster.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, this game is simple enough that like
I'm gonna do 1 and 2 here and see what he
kind of just like fumble your way through playing, but understanding like how the flexing and the folding and like that strategy works actually makes it a pretty like intricate game, and it's like easy enough that you can hop in, but it's hard enough that like like you can keep playing a bunch of rounds because you can learn. I don't know.
I'm gonna say punch him in the face. So here, like I thought he was flexing, so I set it to 2. Fuck, he wasn't flexing. So now he's gonna do 2 times 5. That's a 10 damage hit. Fuck me. Yeah, I just took 10. Oof, I only have 9 or 8.
I'm gonna have to send.
He's got 21.
I'm gonna send the computer a free NFT after they beat you.
Yeah, this is not great.
Just gonna have to send to the Blockchain Brawlers wallet a giveaway.
I'm gonna go with 2 7s here, just because I want to win one of these. All right, he's got a 6. I think we're gonna. I think he's fucked. So I voted 3. He said 2. Now he gets a chance to fold or call, and he's gonna call.
Ooh, if he has an 8, say punch.
If he's an 8, it's a tie. Yeah, let's see. Oh, you shit!
Damn, he's pulling good cards.
This guy's getting like nothing but good cards. Yeah, jeez. 18 damage. I'm fucking done. He killed me.
You're done, son.
Oh, it kicked me out of the ring. When my guy wins, he has like a cool Undertaker like animation because he's got the skin. He like makes him like go into the ground and like a little grave comes out and stuff. God damn it. But that's like the basics of it. You're trying to like, you're playing 2 cards and you're always trying to like play against, not just like play the highest thing, but like, fake out your opponent and catch them in their lies.
There's also stuff like, if you're going to lose a hand, just discarding a bunch of bad cards to get better cards. Like, there's different strategies.
I'm going to try room 2 again. If someone else is out there, we'll see.
Sure.
You can see how bad I was, so you could totally have beat me here. And
for the follow 000 remove. I'm gonna say your name sounds pretty sus. That sounds like some sort of bot name, but
the other side of this was I think the way that the decks work, like I have one of each card in my deck, but then we take both people's decks and shuffle them together and we draw from those cards.
Shouldn't matter though, because all the numbers are the same.
Yeah, that's true. But there's no more than I think 4 of any given card in a deck. So if you hold 4 of the 8s in your hand, your opponent can't have another 8.
The cards are shuffled in between hands, though, aren't they?
Yeah, every hand the cards get reshuffled, so you have
not super easy to like count cards as far as that goes.
Yeah, definitely. But let's see.
I guess if anybody watching has a deck and wants to hop in, room 2.
Room 2, I'm counting.
It's not
down.
a bet. If you lose, you're not losing anything as far as that.
Yeah, it's free as long as you have the like equipment to play. So you do still need the NFTs right now because it seemed like the free to play account would not let me create my loadout.
It's supposed to let you just log in as a guest and but for whatever reason that wasn't working for us.
That might be why they haven't announced it yet. I think they're like having an issue with like the free account possibly. Because that definitely was like, it just was weird. Like I couldn't choose any of the like number 2 card.
No, it's definitely still early days.
Oh, okay. So didn't find one. I'm just gonna go into room 1 and see. Like I need
You
a
gotta
rematch.
rematch the opponent. You can't.
Yeah, I
lose to
can't.
the
I
bot
can't
and
end
not
on a
take it
loss.
back.
That was weak. Win a
Yeah, maybe
flex
we'll
by
say
having.
on Thursday we'll try to do this again so people can get the Twitch drops enabled. But if anybody wants to try to prepare a deck in between now and Thursday, we're happy to give away some NFTs to people that play with us on stream.
So here you see I have a 1 to 5 and a 6. I'm gonna start with a 1 and then play my 5 as my slam card. He did the 5. So does he have a fucking higher card than a 5 as a second? Like, what is this? I want to call his bullshit, but I mean, you know what? I'm gonna bet 1 here and see. You know, no, fuck it. I'm just gonna fold. I don't trust like that. 5 is too middle of the road. Watch him be flexing though. Oh, we both folded. Okay. So nothing happens. We both get 4 cards now.
Why would he fold there?
I have no idea.
The AI is a little weird in this game.
Yeah, he makes some decisions. So I'm going with low cards again. Okay, fuck you. There's no way he has all these high cards. I'm calling your bullshit. I'm gonna bet 2 here. I think he's flexing. And even though his numbers are higher, if he is flexing and I am not, I win. He is flexing. So now I won this hand despite his cards all being higher than any of mine.
Suck it, computer.
Get it, bro. Oh, and I jumped straight to 4. This is a big deal because now I can do 4 times 3 on my next hand. That's huge. So let's see what I want to do. I'm gonna go with low numbers here because I have kind of shit in my hand right now, and I'm gonna 8. Ugh, I was just gonna fold, but there's no way he has 2 8s after like flexing last hand. I'm going hard here. I'm gonna say 3 times my 4. Hopefully I'm calling his bullshit. Oh, and now he voted 2, so now he's raising it to 3. I'm gonna say do my punch attack.
Let's see. Moment of truth.
Get it, motherfucker. There we go. 3 times 4, 12 damage. He's down to 11 now. One more hit like that, and he's finished. And I'm up to 7. So even a base attack now does 7. So now I'm going to go with my highest cards. I'm going to say 5 first, 6. No reason to flex. This guy and his high cards, man. 6. I don't know. Is he flexing again?
I feel like it's harder to judge with the AI.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
It's pretty dumb with like they just flex randomly. So it's like,
oh, I missed my chance to taunt. You can taunt in between. We both folded. It looks like.
Bold strategy. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see. 4 and 6. Okay, whatever. Let's see what he's got. Okay, a 1. Even if he has an 8, I think I win this one. So I'm just gonna go all out right now. Confirm. And now, so he went for a 1. This is game. Like, you can't beat me.
Oh, he's dead if he loses this.
You can't win this. Even with an 8, that's only 9. Get it. 21 damage in 1 hit. Boom! That's how it's supposed to go. Here we go. And then do I do my Undertaker move? Oh, not yet. I guess you have to earn that separately. In the previous like version of the like beta, he had a different move for the finisher.
Yeah, I think you have to actually get that move now. Like, because the finisher is an NFT, but it was just by default giving everybody the same finisher.
All right, no rewards. That's fine. So I do like that you can start betting your brawl and like winning some brawl here too. So it looks like I might have to start messing with this game a little bit more actively.
Yeah, I don't know how active the betting room is, but I also heard that people are like, the strategy changed once you had to like put money down. Like people are playing less aggressively than they were when you didn't have to bet. So it's kind of cool that like, actually having some brawl on the line changes like how people play the game.
Yeah, you can do. There's room for 10, 100, and 1,000 coming soon. So I mean, 1,000's pretty aggressive.
I think 10 is pretty like
10's
great. Like 10 is hardly any as far as like it's like it's less than a wax for 10, right? Like
I think so. Let's see, swap, brawl. If I want 10, yeah, it's less than half a wax even.
Which wax is worth, so it's like 2.5 cents to be able to bet it in the game.
Yeah.
So like
I'm okay with that.
You know, for $1 you can play 50 games and lose all of them, and that's a good price for like
that. I can get behind that. Even if I'm losing, I'm not like upset, and I have something on the line, so I feel like it's much more exciting when you win.
I was saying this yesterday, but like I feel like I have the opposite view. Like back when I was playing, I was like, oh, I want Aether to be printing me money and stuff, but now it's like I would never play a game like Our Planet again if I had to pay hundreds of dollars to invent. Like, I like when the game tokens are super cheap because it makes the games more playable. It's like, it's better for the players because if you're the player, you want the tokens to play the game. It's like the price being high is good for sellers and people who aren't even supporting the project. It's like, oh, if I'm just gonna take everything and sell it and not actually like reinvest in the project. If you're reinvesting in the project, it sucks when it's expensive because like when the price goes up, then it costs you like a lot of money to upgrade your cards and whatnot. So like, I actually think these games are more functional when the tokens are very cheap. So like, I don't really mind that Brawl's kind of cheap right now. It's like, yeah, I could actually afford to do a match with 100 or I don't know if I'd want to do 10,000. That's a lot, or 1,000. But
1,000's a little much, but if I feel like confident and I'm winning a bunch of the lower rank matches, maybe I will venture into the 1,000 just to see if I can hang with the big dogs, you know? I'm just gonna see one more time if someone versus me here and it was like a real person. But
sure, then we can wrap it up. We've gone for like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I do feel like we got a kind of a gist of how this game works. I do like this game. It is really fun, and it does like the strategies there, but so is the luck, because it does come down to like, am I like that first game? That the opponent was just pulling better cards than me every fucking time, and no amount of strategy is gonna outdo that, you know. So there is definitely still the luck aspect to it, but there is also the skill. Like I can influence the outcome of the game. I'm not just clicking, you know, brawl and having some random shit happen. Like I do like this game, and I like that I can have my brawler who's swagged out actually be in the ring now. And so far, I only have my eye poke attack, so I also like that. No one's matching up, but I also like that I can like, you know, go into my loadout and I can, you know, add new attacks. Or these are taunts, but here I could like add a different attack and like do different attacks. And if I had legendary moves, like Lewis was saying, I could verse somebody, and I'm not going to be better than them because I have rarer shit than them, but my attacks are going to be much more elaborate. And that's a cool use of NFTs.
System. If you get multiple of the same common, you can upgrade it, but then it gives you a different uncommon. So if I have like 3 of the same common, then I get a different uncommon and a common, so then I have 2 separate attacks, and like. The upgrading system's pretty fun in this. Like, I do think the pricing was a little whack for like the land and like all that stuff. So like it's hard to get into the crafting game, but like it actually is like they built a cool system. It was just overpriced when they started it out, in my opinion. Like $1,000 for land is way too much for any game.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to play a game, not invest in it. So like if a gameplay mechanic has $1,000 price tag, that's not in the realm of gaming for me. That's in the realm of investing. And I'm not opposed to investing in stuff with that price tag, but it's very difficult to justify it as a game item purchase. And again, like I'm here to play the game, not to like invest in like the.
I'd say especially now more so. When I first got into the space, I was more on the investment side of the games, but then like after learning that it's just not not a smart investment. The tokens take crazy dives and are crazy inflationary. It's like maybe we should start like buying this as I do Counter-Strike, and like I'll pay $40 to play Overwatch, so like I'll pay $40 to play your NFT game, but it shouldn't cost me much more than that, or it's not going to be able to like onboard the general public.
This is my finisher. That's why he was doing that like pin move at the end. So if I have a different finisher, that's an NFT, and I can change the way my like winning animation works too. I like all that. That's really fun, and that's great use of NFTs because it doesn't give me an edge competitively, but it does give me like the bragging rights of like the digital Lambo I'm pulling up on, like pulling some crazy move you've never seen before because I have some crazy rare NFT. That I like.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they need to smooth out like the fact that you can't find a match against another person and then you can't play without buying all those assets is gonna like be a huge roadblock for people to be getting into this game. But if they can smooth it out and make it so like it's just easy to jump into free to play. If you have a guest account, you shouldn't even have to equip anything. You should just be able to hop into a game. Like it should be auto equipped.
Yeah.
If you don't own the NFTs, they shouldn't make you like have to.
I want to see if I'm signed in as guest. It should just say brawl now. It shouldn't make me create a loadout.
Shouldn't make you make your loadout if you're just playing.
The loadout screen feels intimidating to me. Like seeing this for the first time, not knowing what I'm doing and not having it filled in at all. As a brand new player to a game like this, I might be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to try.
What they also need is a button that says equip all, auto equip all highest rarity. And then it needs a tooltip that tells you what you're missing if you click that button. Like you should be able to click equip all and it says you are missing 1 taunt. And then you click that button, it takes you to Atomic Hub to buy that taunt. Like that's what they need in order to like make this not confusing to people. But we'll get there. This is super early.
I agree.
It's only been out for like a month. So like I'm not judging it as if it's a fully finished project, but I do think they've shown that they're able to like adjust the stuff. Like they're able to come out with this in like 6 months, and Alien Worlds has been going for multiple years and still has not launched the basic math game that they were supposed to like. So like if you do look at the timeline of what Blockchain Brawlers has done in the amount of time, they've done a shit ton of work. So even though like I didn't love necessarily how they like pre-funded the game with a token faucet game that pump and dumped, because that was bad for buyers, like they were able to use that money to make a product. So like they did better than like most of the people in Wax that raised a bunch of money and then also failed to release any sort of functional product. So
yeah, I want some of these more rare things too. Like I like this, like kick them in the nuts, or like, you know, do some of these different moves rather than just eye poking. Although of the common ones, I really like the slap, where you just like slap. It's like a.
I really want one of each, but I also just I like the artwork and I like collecting this stuff. Also, Tour Station is going to allow you can use your wrestling moves in Tour Station. So if you have like the movement cards, you're going to be able to let your Auton or whatever they're called, the little runaround guys, are going to be able to like wrestle each other.
Oh, that's cool as hell. That's some metaverse stuff, yo. Use my brawlers.
Yeah. Tour Station is always coming up with good ideas like that on how to really connect the projects rather than like just get you to buy their project, which is like the whole point of a metaverse.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm going to land this plane. We're not going to stream tomorrow. Or I'll take your stream out.
I should have waited a few seconds.
We're not going to be streaming tomorrow, but we will be streaming on Thursday. I'll say we're not going to stream tomorrow scheduled, but for whatever reason, we're doing nothing and have time. But tomorrow I have to go pick up, like, I have a bunch of my audio equipment that I have to work on this weekend. I rented to someone, so I have to go pick up my audio gear and get my kit together and stuff. So I'm going to take time to do that tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to have a game day, so I don't know what we'll play. Might just be Wax games. We might play Fall Guys. We might play Trivia, Jackbox. But basically, like, our Saturday is our community game day, so we're switching that to Thursday. The Super Blend, we're switching to Friday. So Friday will be some sort of a food fight. We'll do like our tier list or food poll, and then we'll also be doing blends on Friday. So that'll happen on Friday now. And then the gaming side of Saturday will move to Thursday. So this Thursday we'll be doing some sort of giveaways and gaming for the community. But thanks for watching. This also, as I said earlier, I still have to figure out how. I don't know how, but we're going to try to upload this to Spotify and like have it be an audio only podcast. So this will be like an actual podcast and not just a web show, which is kind of cool. Step forward. We've been wanting to do that for like the last year. It's just none of us have taken the time to figure out how to do it. So I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to try to post it by next Tuesday. So they're all going to be like a week behind, because just realistically, day of, I'm probably not going to like be re-uploading all this stuff. But our Spotify and audio only schedule will probably be a week behind our video schedule. But this will also exist on YouTube after it goes down on Twitch. So if you ever want to catch the video on demand, we're going to be streaming less, but trying to make more rewatchable content. So hopefully, if you want to catch up with us, you can just watch the video on demand version, even if we're not streaming 5 days a week. But we're still currently, for the time being, going to be streaming probably 3 to 4 days a week, depending on my work schedule. But if I get booked on a movie or something, it might have to totally change our stream schedule, because right now I'm only working like weekends. But if I get booked like for 14 days straight and I'm working 16-hour days, I will not be able to stream at all. Then we'll have to see if Max and Mark can figure out stuff without me. But
I'm sure we'll be able to. But yeah, we'll deal with it.
Basically, the stream schedule just might be a little more tentative. It might not be like this last year. We've been very consistent when we do the same show every day at the same time. If I start working more often, it just might be a little more like up in the air. But we'll try to keep it where it is now, which Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are our main stream days now. And I would say Tuesday and Friday are shows. Those will be the podcasts we re-upload. And Thursday is just going to be kind of like a goof off, hangout giveaway day. Because I don't think the giveaways and the gaming is as fun for rewatching. Like, no one wants to watch us. Like, the end of this stream is going to be completely unlistenable for someone. Like, us trying to wait for a wallet to like register shit on the blockchain. That is not fun to listen to. So like, we are trying to adjust our Tuesday and Friday streams to be a little more like us talking and I guess like more of a rewatchable thing, and less of like less marbles, less grubfish, less giveaways, because that shit's not fun to rewatch. So we're figuring it out, but this is the first iteration. I'd also like to do some like intros and bumpers, so like our segments have like outros and intros and stuff. So maybe we'll be able to value a little bit this year. And now that we're not streaming 5 days a week, we'll have, like, on days that I'm not working, we'll be able to actually, like, work on the show rather than spend all of the time on Neon Space streaming, because I do feel like we haven't really been improving the quality of our show for a while. It's just sort of been like cruise control. We're doing what we're doing at the level we're doing at, and just, I don't know. I'm hoping we can improve. Self-improvement, new year, New Year's resolution.
New year, new me.
Be better.
Yeah, and happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for joining us on our first stream of 2023 here. It's I had a good time talking tech like I always do, and then playing some brawlers was unexpected but fun. I like that game, so I'm excited for when they go live, and I'm actually gonna look forward to like betting some brawl tokens here. I'm happy to see that 10 is the threshold. Like Lewis was saying, 10 I can get behind. I can risk like 50 cents to play 10 games.
We'll also plan on doing that on a Thursday. So if anybody between now and Thursday can get a deck set up or figure out how to ask blockchain brawlers to make it so you can play without a deck, I'm sure if you go into their support, I don't even know if they're aware that people can't play right now in the guest mode. So maybe I'll go in there and be like, hey, like, we're trying to play without NFTs. It was not possible. It makes it hard for us to get people into your game while streaming. So if anybody could just log in and play against us, like Splinterlands, it'd be so much easier to do this on stream. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to raid into NFT Gamer TV. It's Taco Tuesday. They're playing a Cryptia, so go say hi to T. Davis and Sam if they're streaming. I don't know who's on the stream right now, but I'm going to also not play Buying the Dip, because now that like we have our own podcast and we're re-uploading, I don't really want to be playing that music for copyright issues, even though they did give us permission. I want to make our own outro music for Neon Space. So at some point we're going to have like an actual Neon Space song, but until then, I'm just going to raid without playing a dance song.
Until then, it'll be crickets.
I mean, we're playing music still, it's just not.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I'm digging my little crypto ticker here in the foreground. This is super fun.
That's fun. Shit, there's the Twitch drops things on my screen. It says, get Brawler Vision by watching Neon Space play blockchain brawlers. We've enabled drops for the community. Watch 2 hours of claim. I'm at 50%, so we got halfway there.
Hey, yo. So next time we stream, we can do this again.
We'll stream this on Thursday. So on Thursday, we'll be doing this again. So if you didn't get the second half and you aren't able to watch any other streamers, we'll do it on Thursday. But thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll put the link to our Discord since we won't be on the next couple of days. I'll still be doing NFT stuff. I'm putting pretty heavy into Realm right now. I'm trying to grind the Realm season. And then I've also been playing Overwatch and Counter-Strike. So if everyone wants the game outside of NFT games, hit us up on Discord. But otherwise, we will see you all on Thursday. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have a happy start of your new year. Hope you just nail all your resolutions. I hope everything you're trying to do.
Yeah. At least you haven't given up on the resolutions just yet. What are we, like day 3?
I haven't. Right after this, I'm taking a walk. My resolution is to get back into exercising. I was doing hour-long walks like 6 to 7 days a week for most of last year, and then when I got COVID, I was just like, I don't feel like doing this, and I just never got back into it. So it's been months now. So
yeah,
my New Year's resolution is get my ass out of the house and get exercising.
You can try this game now, but the free-to-play version of it was having a few issues. So if you have the actual NFT assets, it was working. Like I was playing with my own assets, but I think if you don't have any of the assets yet, I'd wait for their announcement. I think they're working on making it live and free.
Yeah, we're having issues for free to play, but it is playable if you own everything you need from the starter pack. We went over that earlier, what you need. I saw you just followed us. If you have more questions, just hit me up. I'm Lewis or PolishDog90 in Discord, and I'm happy to walk you through what you need to play blockchain brawlers, but we are going offline right now. So if you have any questions, just hit me up. Hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we will see you on Thursday for more blockchain brawlers in the WAXP Community Game Day. And we'll be doing some giveaways as well. So if you're interested in winning some NFTs, check us out on Thursday. But yeah, catch y'all later. Have fun watching NFT Gamer TV.
Thanks for noticing my pizza gut. It's front and center, baby. It's my resolution to grow it up a little bit.
Peace out, everybody.
See you. Nice. I enjoy